You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
To the middle, right of the net, shoots, tapped just wide by Zaka, 13. McAvoy, around to check, centered, they score! With 6 seconds left, Pavel Zaka stuffs it home! Bruins victorious in overtime over the Senators, 3-2!
Oh, that was exciting. More than any other football game last night, I can tell you that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Freaky Friday football smorgasbord edition of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. How are you doing today? How are you? Woo! It is Friday, November 7th. We got lots of football, NFL, college football, NHL, and a whole lot more. Antonio Brown is in trouble. What else is new? Thanks for checking us out here on the Pete Sheppard Show across the Coastal Sports Digital Network, the awesome video platform that we have. Follow me on Twitter, on X at PShep326, on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, CSDN Florida, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the Odyssey app, as well as SR1029 The Game. And you can always call or text the show, 727-858-6650. Man, good morning, everybody. Good to be back after a little maintenance day yesterday. Lots going on. Huge, gigantic show today. We are firing on all cylinders today. As Norman Dale would say, the Pistons are all firing. Trevor Harris, WQAM in Miami, will join me at the bottom of this hour. We'll talk some Canes and Cuse, among other things, and I'm sure the Miami Dolphins will come up as well. Jay Flannelly from Bees World up in Ann Arbor will join me as well. I got a little college football quiz for him. Remind me, Angel, a one-question quiz for him. Hector Longo talking Patriots Bucks at 8:30. Then I'll have my pigskin picks. John Mita Perrell talking BC SMU. Huge game for SMU. And Billy O'Brien, after exploding this week on a reporter. We'll see how the Eagles, who came off a pretty good performance against Notre Dame, only losing by 15. But Mita will join us at 9 o'clock. And then Gabe Morency back, first time in a couple of weeks. Sports Grid will join us. Sports Rage from Sports Grid will join us, and he will have his picks as well. So we got lots of NFL, college football. Eric Spoelstra's house burning down. Saw that highlight yesterday. That's just awful. Antonio Brown in custody for attempted murder and being extradited from Dubai to the U.S. God almighty. The unfortunate, horrible story yesterday of Martian Nealon, who dies at 24 years old. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. Really, really sad story. He's the guy that made the block kick on Monday night. You know, he's seemingly was on cloud nine, but you just never know what's going on behind the scenes with anybody from a mental standpoint. But just a sad story. Meanwhile, college football last night. Outstanding game by South Florida, the Bulls. Angel was at. We'll get to him. They rout the Texas San Antonio Roadrunners 55-23. And in maybe the ugliest game of the decade last night. Forget Thursday night football. I'm not even going to give you Al Michael. Well, I'm going to give you highlights. I'm going to give you the lowlights in a 1-minute package that Duff Kleiman put together. You could cue up Benny Hill music, or they had some like goofy type of music when you see this video. 10-7 Denver over the Raiders last night in an absolute hideous football game. With all that, we say good morning now to Angel Martinez, who was at Ray J last night for that absolute blowout right from the get-go by South Florida over UTSA. Good morning, Angel. How are you?
Good morning, Pete. Good morning to everyone. Happy Friday as the weekend is upon us. And the game ended at exactly 3:36 this morning. Started at 7:30 last night. Boy, oh boy. It was such a long game. Halftime.
Don't score so many points, man. Don't score so many points.
Yeah, well, it's what happens. I thought we were done with this whole injury stuff. And apparently yesterday there was a lot of it that went on. There was flags being thrown. It seemed like every 2 minutes. It was just all kinds of goofy nonsense going on last night. But yeah, it looked good. Byron Brown looked excellent. Singleton, we had a great game. Overall, it was really good. Good crowd on hand. I thought it was going to be a little more folks just because it is Thursday night, but the students showed up. Not as big as the game prior at home, but nonetheless, got the win. Byron Brown is ready for the NFL, just in my humble opinion. And where he would land is beyond me because he's going to be a starter somewhere. So maybe Phoenix. Phoenix needs a good starter.
Well, yeah, when you talk about first-round pick, he's 6'3", 232. I don't know if he's a first-rounder. Maybe, but I'm thinking more second or third round. But yes, I believe he's an NFL caliber quarterback. I don't think there's any question about it. Yeah, it was a hell of a game last night. In fact, it was so good, Angel. We're going to lead with it because the Denver Raiders game, and somebody just tweeted, Duff Climbing, you love it if you were a defensive fan. I don't mind defensive football. I don't mind a 10-7 game. But let me tell you something. The 10-7 game does not have these kind of numbers. Real quick, team stats, only 10 first downs for each team. Raiders had 4 rushing. Denver had 5. They had passing. Raiders had 6. Broncos had 5. No first downs from penalties, so I guess that's a plus. Third down efficiency, a combined 9 for 30. Okay, that is awful. Fourth down efficiency, a combined 0 for 1. Total plays, a normal NFL team will put up 65, 66 plus. They didn't even get to 60. The Raiders had 58. The Broncos had 57. Total yards, Raiders 188. Denver 220. They each had 13 drives. Yards per play, Angel. Raiders 3.2. The Broncos not much better at 3.9. Net passing 114 yards for Geno Smith and company, and the Raiders at 136 yards for Bo Nix. 15 to 27 for the Raiders, 15 to 28, or 16 to 27 for Geno, 16 of 28 for Bo Nix. Just yards per pass average. Raiders 3.5. Yards per pass average for Denver 4.5. 3 interceptions thrown combined, 1 by Geno, 2 by Denver. Rushing attempts, 74 yards rushing for Oakland, or for the Las Vegas Raiders, and 84 for Denver. On 25 attempts for the Raiders and 27 attempts for Denver. Average rushing yard for the Raiders, 3.0. Average rushing yards for Denver, they killed it, 3.1. 3.0. Red zone made attempts, 1 for 1 for the Raiders, 1 for 3 for Denver. Turnovers, the Broncos had 2, the Raiders had 1. Interceptions, again, Denver had 2, 1. And time of possession was just about even, 29 minutes and 14 seconds for the Raiders, 30 minutes and 46 seconds for Denver. Penalties. This is where you thought this game should have been over like in an hour and a half, but because of this, 22 combined penalties, 11 on each side. 11 for 83 for the Raiders, 11 for 78 for the Broncos. That is 22 for 161 total. That is a lot of flags. That is a lot of extra time to sort all that nonsense out. That was a hideous game. But let's stay with the positives. We'll get to the lowlights, and there were only lowlights for that game. But let's get to the highlights last night. In case you missed it, USF, the Bulls. And don't forget, now they are in a tie after this great win last night that they had. They are now in a three-way tie in the American Athletic Conference with North Texas and Memphis, all a half game behind Navy. And guess who Navy plays this weekend? Notre Dame. So, which Navy has upset Notre Dame in the past when Notre Dame has been ranked. So we shall see. Even though Notre Dame should not be 10th, they should not be 8 spots higher than Miami. As I have said, this committee makes up rules as they go along. There's a separate column for Notre Dame and a separate column for everybody else. It's just absolutely unbelievable. You want to talk about a team that does, you want to talk about Miami not having to be in the college football playoff right now? Okay, I get it. I sort of get it. But when they factor in, the Hurricanes have 3 wins over ranked teams when they were ranked, okay, including one over Notre Dame. You want to talk about who's playing better right now? Obviously, Miami losing 2 out of 3. Notre Dame playing better, having won 6 in a row after losing their first 2. They should not be 8 spots better than Miami with a head-to-head loss. You just shouldn't. Anyway, we digress. We're into all of that. Nothing we can do about it. It's that the Canes play Syracuse. We'll talk with Trevor at the bottom of the hour. All right. USF, though, they still got a great shot to make the college football playoff in the group of 5. Here are the highlights. And before you could even sit down last night, it was 7-0. But here we go. Thanks to ESPN.
Again, I would expect them to run the ball early and try to move the pocket with Owen McCown.
The American Offensive Player of the Week rightly deserves McCown play fake on first down, and it's picked off on first down. And we are running with the Bulls on the first play of the game. Warm up. McCown keeps it, and he is dropped. Ball is out. Scooped by Jarvis Lee. Oh, my. Fred Gaskin.
That means he goes deep on the scramble drill. Perfectly executed.
And he's going deep on the throw here. Caught. Touchdown.
Outstanding stuff. That's all I can. I mean, 55-23 is the final. The Bulls improved to 7-2. UFA losing on this ball to 4-5.
Hey, Manning, quiet down.
You should get rid of that.
Now, I always say this. So yesterday, we were trying to look it up in USF history, yet alone in college history, Byron Brown and the offense did not take the field until 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Just the defense going to work.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Yep, absolutely amazing. And again, Brown completed 14 of 15, 239 yards, just about perfect. It's perfect, really. 2 touchdowns. Ran for 109 yards as well on 9 carries and scored a touchdown. I mean, that's as good as it gets in college football for him. Fantastic night. Fantastic night. All right, now let's go to the what do you got there? The Bruins? Did you just punch that up?
No. That's because I had to switch screens.
Oh, okay. Now to the ugly, the hideous game last night between the Denver Broncos at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. Here is Dov Klein. Here's the package. In case you missed it, this is it, and they did a great job. I don't need to play it out. You're going to hear Al Michaels. You're going to hear Kirk Herbstreit, but this is 1 minute of shit. This is how, show this film to anybody or any kid, and this is how you don't play football. Here we go. I mean, it's just awful from the get-go.
Raiders now on a first down with Schmidt over the middle, in the air, deflected and intercepted. And into Raider territory comes Andre Tillman. And look at him pitch special team. Just to the outside, backwards pass. Now you've got Sheppard, and he gets taken down. Good pass is intercepted. Block. Kick is blocked. Away they go. And Smith's going to get sacked. 3rd and 12. There's another one. Smith in the pocket, waiting, looking, hit from behind. Down he goes. See what he does here. Trying to get the lead.
Wait for it.
And rolling around. 14 miles an hour, going to 11, going back to 14. Raiders now on a first down with Schmidt over the.
It wasn't bad enough how many times I had to spot the ball again because the wind was blowing like 14, 15 mile an hour gusts. And it's just that shitty game, shitty game. Hey, if you're the Broncos, sexiness doesn't count. All that matters is wins, and they're 8-2. Last time they were 8-2, they won the Super Bowl. That means anything. The Raiders are awful at 2-7. I still can't believe the Patriots lost opening game to them, but.
What they should have added to the highlight reel was flipping back to USF real quick from last night was the one ref, which obviously was calling the game last night. It was just before the half. He's talking about the penalty. He goes, penalties decline, fourth down, I think. Is that right? And it comes over to over the feed, and we're just laughing upstairs in the media booth.
Great stuff. All right, Angel, we can scroll down right underneath the U.S. I'm going to play my Bruins last night as they continue to roll. They win their 5th in a row last night, and this was great, avenging their worst loss of the year. But here's a call last night on Nesson.
To the middle, right of the net, shoots, tapped just wide by Zaka, 13. McAvoy, around to check, centered, they score! With 6 seconds left, Pavel Zaka stumps it home! Bruins victorious in overtime over the Senators, 3-2! To the middle, right of the...
That was something. 5 in a row for the Bruins. 5 in a row. Absolutely outstanding last night. As was Angels Philadelphia Flyers.
Buck rolls free to Konechny. Get it back around to Brink, but it bounces away from Bobby, and Shea will play it, but it's flagged down by Konechny. Konechny knocks another one down. His pass is in Drysdale. All kinds of room. The shot, save, rebound, they score! Cates pounds home the rebound, and the Flyers take a 2-1 lead late in the second.
They go on to win 3-1, Angel. You guys won 2 straight road games, and you're 7-3 in your last 10. Flyers playing some good hockey, as are the Bruins. New Jersey and Montreal in a thriller last night.
And stolen away. Here comes Brad. The game on his stick. Brad, backhand, scores! Jesper Brad has given the Devils the win here.
Right here, good pressure on Newhook. He makes him lose the puck, and Brad with that speed and quickness.
Outstanding call last night on MSG and St. Louis, a blank Buffalo 3-0 as well. Carolina and Minnesota in a thriller too.
Finisher over the course of his career. That's a heck of a pass.
And now Carolina trying to go back to work. They got a 2-on play. Got it front. They score! A tap in for Nick Ehlers. Tap for tap in Carolina. Back in the lead. It's 4-3. Ehlers' second goal with the Canes.
And that would be the final, 4-3. How about Pittsburgh and Washington going at it? Sid the Kid going at it with Ovechkin, who scored his 900th goal on Wednesday night. We didn't have our show yesterday, didn't get a chance to talk about it, but Sid the Kid, Crosby, couple last night.
The puck smartly moving around on this power play for Pittsburgh. And Russ, he was shooter. Came to the seam pass.
All right, that made it 1-0 in the first period. Let's keep it with the first period as well. He strikes again.
They scored on their first. Rust in the bumper. It's Carlson. Shot. Save Lindgren. Score! Guess who? The captain does it again. 2-0. Penguins.
Yeah, they go on to win. Beat Washington by a score of 5-3. Anaheim over Dallas, 7-5. Tampa Bay Lightning last night. Yeah.
33 in the power play. Hagel left corner. Hagel holds. Back for Hedman, center point. Let's go Kucherov. Shoots! Score! Kucherov! That knuckleball past the stick of Lindbaum. That is a power play goal. Kucherov's second goal in the period. And it's 5-3 Lightning with 5:47 left.
There you go. Tampa Bay beats Vegas to double them up by a score of 6-3. The Florida Panthers on the road last night, and they get it done in Los Angeles.
On a pass, it's a 3-on-2. They're able to negate it. They go back up ice and just putting the puck to net. Look at Mikkola. He's up in the play. And again, that's something Paul Maurice wanted to do with his defensemen, is get them involved a little bit more in the offensive side of things. If Mikkola doesn't come up there, that opening isn't there for Sam Reinhart to get his 7th of the season. And it was all Kings there for about...
Yeah, I don't know what that cut was mislabeled. Sorry, that was not my fault. Let me tell you, not my fault at all. Brad Marchand had 2 goals last night, by the way, for the Florida Panthers. They go on to beat the Kings in LA by a score of 5-2. Did you see this last night? I saw him the red shirt freshman from the Florida Gators, basketball program. 7'9". He's the tallest player ever in the history of college basketball. From Canada, Olivier Rioux became the tallest college basketball player ever at 7'9". He's going to redshirt. He only played like a minute last night. They're going to redshirt him until next year. 7'9" for the Florida Gators.
What do you do? Just walk up to the basket like, okay, that's on me.
Yeah, basically, kind of like Wemby, only taller.
Jeez, and Wembley's tall.
Yeah, he is. He's taller. Absolutely unbelievable. And they showed him last night, and Florida routed. I forget who they played. Did you see the score of the women's LSU game against Southeast Louisiana?
Put 89 up there on the board, or beat them by 89.
Beat them by 89.
It's just
those are great. Those are great learning experiences for the kids when you go on to back-to-back 33-0 runs. Unbelievable.
Oh,
absolutely unbelievable.
Hang on, we'll get a little quick shot here of the giant you just talked about. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me go back to here, and oh no, I gotta go.
Yeah, they beat North Florida last night, 104-64. 19-year-old redshirt freshman from Canada and the world's tallest teenager.
It's insane.
He didn't even touch the ball.
Of course, I had it, and I bring it. Here we go. Let me bring it back. And
Rio is 2 inches taller than former NBA Giants George Murison and Manute Bol, and 3 inches taller than Yao Ming, Taco Fall, and Sean Bradley. He already owned a spot in the Guinness World Records when he signed with the Gators back in 24.
That's insane how tall this kid is. Holy craps. Look at him.
Freeze it right there. Look at it.
That's insane. That's like just walking up to the hoop. Okay, just throw me the ball.
Oh, my God. All right, let's get to some. There was only one NBA game last night. Phoenix beat the Clippers 115-102. Yay. All right, let's get to some NFL news, and let's see. Oh yeah, well we have to be the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots getting ready to take on Tampa Bay, and we'll get into that more so. Break it down more so at around 8:30 when Hector Longo from the Eagle Tribune joins me at 8:30 this morning. That should be a hell of a game. Both teams are banged up, so you'll hear my pigskin picks. This is going to be a very, very tough game for the Patriots. It'll be a tough game for Baker too, but I have a feeling that the Bucs are going to squeak one out. It should be 24-20, something like that. I think it's going to be one hell of a game. Buffalo is at Miami, and here is Mike McDaniel yesterday on losing 7 straight games versus the Buffalo Bills.
They've beaten us because they've scored more points and done.
That's his opening statement. Here we go.
They've beaten us because they've scored more points and done the right football things longer than we have.
Really?
In those games. That we lost.
Uh-huh.
I think that that's the measure of a good football team, is being able to win. Particularly there's been a couple one-score games as of late that they've won and we've lost. And so what's critical is that you don't have your wish you could have them back plays in the fourth quarter. Anticipating that regardless of how well you play or whatever they do, they generally do a great job of keeping the game at least worst case scenario, at least within reach. A lot of times they have leads. But you're not winning this game until the fourth quarter.
You're not winning any games.
I think, playing good football throughout 4 quarters, I think us banding together through the ebbs and flows, not getting too high, not getting too low in a game that you really want to win is pretty critical. But, as far as streaks and the records of former teams and our record for that matter, I don't really see. If our record was inverse flipped, I don't see a difference
Inverse
in this
flipped.
game. If we're 7-2, we're still trying to beat the Buffalo Bills, who have won our division the past nth times.
Who sits through
Are
that?
you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Every single day, I lose a little more brain cells when I listen to this fucking idiot. Blabbering, pedantic, blathering fool, disgrace to coaching. Disgrace.
Who
God almighty.
I would be
When does
pulling.
it end?
I don't know, but I'd be pulling my eyeballs out. The end of
Mother of mercy, if there is a God, and I know there is, Lord, sweet baby Jesus, please put us out of our misery. Get this guy out of here. I can't. If you're a Dolphin fan, you must want. They've given up. I mean, they're selling the tickets. They don't care. But my God, listening to this fool on a daily basis. Jesus, put him out to stud or whatever you need to do. Get him out of there. Here's two on reports about the team looking forward to replacing him.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm playing to keep my job. I think I'm playing to try to help our team win every time. I think that's the objective, for every quarterback that's playing, for every football player that's playing as well. The objective is, how can I help my team win games? And so I would say, if you're looking at it in that sense, I would say my performance needs to be better, and my performance doesn't reflect me trying to keep my job, because that's not the standard in which I've been playing all these other years. So I would say that.
Right. If they look to try to move, like I said, the guy's supposed to make $65 million a 3 years. His contract is almost as bad as Deshaun Watson's in a lot of ways. He's going to be difficult to move without the Dolphins picking up a lot of the salary, but he'll be with the team the rest of the year, and then they'll have to figure it out. Angel, if we could scroll down under Barry Jackson. On the Rich Eisen show yesterday, former NFL exec Joe Banner questions the Dolphin front office direction, makes a very reasonable explanation here, which we've been saying for 2 years.
Bring this here, and here we go.
All right, so there's 3 teams that I'm interested in hearing about your opinion about where they are and how they can move forward. And let's start with the Dolphins. You just referred to them, Joe, and I believe you are there in the Sunshine State. What do you think their options are now? They bounced Chris Greer before the trade deadline. They trade Jalen Phillips away. Jalen Waddle is still there. You mentioned Tua's contract. There's a coach who's still under contract. We don't know what the future. Walk me through, read me the tea leaves of what you think the Dolphins have done and what their options are moving forward here.
I'm concerned if somebody's rooting for them. Listen, the owner really has one job. They can do more. They can be helpful in many areas, but they really have one job. They have to succeed from a fan perspective, because all the fan really cares about is how many games you're going to win. And that is, he has to get 2 to 3 hires right. Depending upon your structure, you have to have a general manager, head coach, and I think ideally a team president, all of whom are really good at their job, and then you will be able to compete with the best teams in the league. It's interesting to me because Steve Ross, I know reasonably well. He's a nice guy. Mm-hmm. He's a very smart guy. He's been very successful. But he has not mastered the ability to hire well at the top of his organization, going back from the time that he became the owner of the team. And that's the reason they haven't done better. And, I know Greer, he's a good guy. He's a hard worker, but he got 9 years. We talk about some situations with people too impatient. I don't know how you justified all 9 years of that. There were a lot of mistakes made during that time, including hiring of coaches. I think I was with Mike briefly. We overlapped in Cleveland. The reputation he has as being an offensive mind is well-deserved. I mean, I've been with Andy Reid. I've been with John Gruden. I've been with, names that are probably less relevant today. Sean Payton, a lot of the coaches that are top offensive minds now. He's as good as any of them. So I put him in the upper echelon of offensive minds. But the job description for a coordinator and a head coach is just totally different. And if you hire a coordinator that doesn't have the abilities that differentiate the good head coaches from the good coordinators, then you're going to be disappointed. So Mike has done I'd say a solid job, but not what you'd be hoping for the day you hired him.
Okay,
And I think it's because
that's
some of
good.
the quality.
That's good enough. That's good enough. I'm just telling you, the man has no conviction. Not Joe Banner, but there's a big part of it. You can be a good offensive mind. There's a lot of good offensive minds out there, but you are not a leader of men, which he did not bring up there, and that's really what it is. Right under that, Angel, if we could, before we get to Trevor, Jalen Phillips not being traded from Miami to the Eagles, said it's like the greatest thing that's ever happened to him.
I would bet argue. Let's see.
I know that you said you were so excited to be here, and it's only been a short amount of time, but how have you been getting acclimated in the very short time that you've been here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was excited day one. I mean, talk to me now. Like, this is literally the greatest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, probably. But it's just awesome. I mean, the guys are awesome. Everybody's been super welcoming. I love the environment here. I love the vibe here. The city of Philly's, giving me a very warm welcome. I got about 20 times the amount of Instagram likes that I ever got on a post before from the Philly fans, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, it's been great so far. Getting out there practicing. I love the weather here. I love the locker room. Everything's awesome.
What makes it the greatest moment, would you say?
All right, there you go. All right, it's that time of the week. Usually do it on Thursdays, but we had a maintenance day yesterday, so getting up really, really early because he has a GoFundMe page for Antonio Brown. He actually volunteered to fly up to New Jersey to get him before he's extradited from Dubai, being held in Jersey right now before coming to Miami today. The GoFundMe master for Antonio Brown, producer, host extraordinaire from WQAM is Trevor Harris. Good morning, Trevor. How are you?
That is fake news. That's what I like to say.
No, it says it right here. I believe everything on the internet. Trevor Harris's GoFundMe page for Antonio Brown.
I don't have one on my page. I know only thing I have on my Twitter is I had a guest on. I said we'll do it live at 7:30. I retweeted that. I was on Cats and Bolts. I was helping promote where the Panther game is on radio since it's a national.
I'm watching Sports Center rerun for the fourth time. This one they just broke.
People still have Sports Center rerun.
Scott Van Pelt, and there's your little picture up on top next to Antonio Brown, like. Unbelievable. So Miami's police spokesperson Mike Vegas said that Antonio Brown was he's 37, by the way, taken into U.S. custody by U.S. Marshals in Dubai. He can't even hide there, right?
No.
He was flown to Essex County, Jersey. He's being held pending extradition to Miami. It's unclear why Brown was taken to New Jersey first or how long he had been in Dubai. I have a theory about this, although he has posted several times on social media over the past few months.
He's an idiot.
I'm not really saying this lightly. And the government shutdown is affecting flights all over the country. Now, at RSW here in Fort Myers so far, I saw the latest. There was only one flight delayed to Boston today. It was only for 11 minutes. And another flight to Chicago was 8 minutes. The rest of them, a lot of them are coming in actually early, believe it or not. But it would shock me because the government shut down. And this is why poor Antonio Brown can't get to Miami. He's going to stay in freaking Newark, New Jersey, probably, which is the hind end of the United States. For an airport, anyway. Just awful.
So you can't get a direct flight from Newark to Fort Lauderdale. Geez, what are we at with society with Fort Lauderdale, FFL, and
the feds can't get him from Dubai to Miami on one flight?
Well, how can you not get him Dubai to Miami? Was there not enough direct flights for the day anyways? I know they cut down 10% of the flights at MIA already.
I don't know. It's one of the great, enigmas in life.
We may need one of those Viking boats from back in the day. Just take them there and just down to Miami. That'll go a little quicker at least.
Again, this all stems from an arrest. What was that?
That was a Viking horn, anyways.
Skull. It was, according to the arrest warrant detailing the May 16th shooting, Brown accused of grabbing a handgun from a security staffer after the boxing match and firing 2 shots at a man he had been in a fistfight with earlier. The man, Zol Panan Kwame Nantambu, told investigators one of the bullets grazed his neck. It was unclear from court documents whether Brown has it. So there's that. I got to ask you, that was scary yesterday with Eric Spoelstra. I saw the video of his house burning down.
Yeah.
What was that? I haven't seen the whole story. What the hell happened? Was it just electrical or what?
They still don't know how it happened. Anyways, people thought it was
scary.
That was I didn't know until I woke up yesterday morning because I had to do Wednesday. Yeah, I had to do a few things. Anyways, I
Yeah.
threw on channel 7 down here, and I said like, "Suppose
Yeah.
house is on fire." I was like, "What? Is
Yeah.
this real?" I had to check my 4 sources and stuff.
That
And it was
wasn't
like
just a fire, like on fire. It's not fire. This
that was a
burned down.
blaze. That was a blaze. A lot of these houses down here, in where he doesn't live in Broward, which is the crazy.
Miami-Dade County, right?
Yeah,
That's
he
what
lives
it
in
is.
Dade County.
Yeah.
Most of the coaches and players, a lot of people live in Broward.
Mhm.
And how he lives in Miami, which I did not know anyways. I thought he was, he's another Broward guy anyways. And a lot of the houses in Miami are old anyways, and there's
But you
like
saw the house was on a very isolated sort of upper
Yeah.
crust area, kind of isolated up a hill. Good view of the city probably, but
Yeah.
that was I saw that video. I'm like, that wasn't just a fire. I mean, that house was destroyed.
Yeah, that I've never seen a house destroyed like that ever. Maybe like
California, I've seen.
I was gonna say the California wildfire houses. Anyways, I've never seen that in Miami ever.
He must not have been. Was he home? He couldn't have been.
No,
home.
he was getting back from the Denver game.
The Denver game, yeah.
Because they're on a West Coast road trip. They started like a week ago. They're on a West Coast road, going on a West Coast road trip to San Antonio and in Denver on Wednesday. Anyways, and then crazier thing is he's coaching tonight. Anyways,
Yeah, just thank God, and I didn't see any injuries. Nobody got hurt.
no, his
but I know
kids
it-
were not at the house too, so that's the best part. So
I mean, it took the fire department quite a while to put that out. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Let me see. I'm looking up the story now. Is there anything? Nobody was home when the fire broke out. No injuries reported. And they got the home game tonight against Charlotte.
They have a back to back. Anyways, they play Charlotte tonight. I think the Blazers tomorrow night down here as well.
Yeah, so he was on an airplane when the fire started, flying home with the heat from a Wednesday night game in Denver. The fire was called in around 4:36 in the morning.
Yeah.
And the heat charter landed in Miami about 35 minutes later. Multiple fire trucks and other vehicles were at the fully involved scene when Spolstra arrived at the property. How'd you like to come home? Oh, my God.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Like I would never wish that on anyone. That's like the worst thing
Oh, my
ever.
God, no. Smoke was seen rising over parts of their property more than 3 hours after the first fire trucks arrived. But officials declared the blaze contained around 8 a.m. So that's like 2.5 hours later, 3.5 hours later.
Maybe
Some crews
4.
remained on the scene. They were as tall as the trees, according to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Battalion Chief Victoria Bird. The fire was contained to the property owned by Spolstra, and no nearby homes were damaged, adding that a privacy fence and tree cover impeded the initial firefighting efforts.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure like who did arson. That's what I'm thinking. That house was definitely arson driven. I'll say.
Well, unless there's an sometimes things happen, electrical fires. Property records show Spolstra bought the 5-bedroom home back in December of 23. He had done extensive work to the property following the purchase.
So that was probably before. It was after his divorce, and he got a real. After when he got divorced and stuff, when the divorce was done, he gave him an 8-year deal. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that deal go down.
Yes.
So he probably got it. He probably got this house right after the divorce went down. Anyways, so.
I mean, I don't think it's, to me, I don't think it's arson. I have a feeling.
No.
I think it'll be an electrical fire. Something went awry very quickly. If he did some renovations on the house, and a lot of guys, even you wouldn't think he was, maybe he likes doing his hands-on stuff. Larry Bird used to mow his own lawn. Out in front of the yard. I mean, maybe he likes doing his own stuff, but that is scary.
Yeah.
What happened to them. All right. This week, I want to start with the Dolphins before we get into the Canes. And did you have to produce the Panthers' great win last night in LA?
So I had to do the good old. I did the Tuesday night game in Anaheim.
Oh,
I had to do that game. I'm gonna name drop her. Brittany Rodriguez. She did the Panther game last night actually.
Oh.
So I was doing Miami Hurricanes basketball. So
that was a good win.
Yes. Nice blowout win. So
Yes.
Versus Bethune-Cookman. Nice. I call it a nice tune-up win.
Just
Anyways.
like it was. So, how about, did you, I'm sure you saw, so Joe was calling that game, was he not?
Joe in Hollywood. Yes, Hollywood is color commentary.
So I sent Joe sent me a nice message the other day, and where, I should have Angel play this. Yeah, did you see
I
that?
saw that. Yeah, is it the higher arrow?
Angel, could we scroll down and put this video up there? Do you mind?
I work with Joe Z all the time, and I didn't even know about this. This is the
I
coolest
didn't
thing.
either. It's right under Joe Zagak. You can scroll down a little bit, Angel, and it just says, "So this just happened."
Yes, that's what I thought. I watched. I was like, okay, I have to watch this now.
Yeah, right here.
I love how he was held by Don Bailey Jr. I don't know who the other guy was.
He is now part of the tribe.
Yeah, with Mike Rumpf, by the way. That was one of the other guys who was there. Is Mike Rumpf, anyways. So,
yeah.
49er legend.
Yeah, this is how Joe Zagacki, he didn't know what was coming, so he's coming out of the, probably just did an interview, right? He's coming out of the athletic
Had
center.
to, yeah.
And then, all the people are dressed in, Miami Hurricane colors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mando. I was grateful for your support, Mando. Oh, no. Right. Check this out. Joe Zagacki. No problem. He didn't know what was going on. Oh my God.
The highest honor attained at the University of Miami.
What is it? The arrow time? What's it called? Highest arrow. Unbelievable. Joe Zagacki, great guy, longtime voice of the Hurricanes in every sport. Look at that. He better wear that tomorrow. They got to show that. I guarantee you, tomorrow morning on College Football Game Day.
And report before the tribe tomorrow at 12 noon at the Shalala Student Center.
I've never seen him speechless. That's awesome. Good for Joe. This is the type of thing that McAfee might have on his show today, and certainly it should be part of College Game Day. And the game's on ESPN tomorrow anyway, 3:30. They got to show.
They have
at least
to.
a little clip of that, and maybe even interview Joe. That is something you just don't see that. That's great.
No, I'm happy for the. I work with them. I do the Hurricane Hotline. I do many. I'm with them for the college basketball games. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of long nights traveling, trying to make sure we're connected to Florida State, Boston College, just to name a few anyway. So I'm happy for Joe on that one. I saw this, like, this is the coolest thing ever. We were talking about it yesterday. I was like, I got to the station early because I had to do some stuff for the football game. The afternoon show was talking. I was like, I've never seen this before because it's like a limited amount of members, or in it, it's like 1,000 people, which is crazy.
Have they done any player? They must have done players. I mean, or all the, the Ed Reeds and the Warren Sapps and all. I mean, there's so many freaking Hurricane players. I mean, that could they must have to limit it.
Yeah, probably have to. It's like what I kind of was told, and I'm going to give Solana this credit, by the way. Where's credit is due? It's like it goes to the person who does the most spectacular thing, and like you found some medical thing.
Yeah,
something like
it's almost like a Pulitzer Prize type of thing where you do something. Well, I mean, look, he has been part of that institution for decades, and I think it's right on. I mean, he's done a lot of good things for that institution.
Yeah, definitely, he does a great job, anyways. So. I love the jacket the most, anyways. That thing is cool, anyways. And plus, it is homecoming weekend, by the way, for Miami.
He's got to wear that up in a booth tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. Got to.
I'll ask him that. I was like, you know, wear that jacket tomorrow night. Anyway, tomorrow when we go to the,
it might be a little warm, but I mean, you can take it off. But still, I mean, I guarantee you, College Game Day tomorrow. It's too bad they're not there for that game. But
unless you don't have ESPN, unless you have YouTube TV, you're screwed then, anyways. So.
Yeah, and and here's the thing: I decided to keep only because I have it paid for to the end of the month. So I finagled an ESPN app. You
You could have asked me, by the way.
I could have.
Yeah, because I want to know why. I have DirecTV. They gave you activate ESPN Plus, the new ESPN thing.
Well, speaking of DirecTV, I mean, I've gotten everybody on Facebook has gotten DirecTV ads. When I'm switching, I'm not, but when you have DirecTV, but you don't need the satellite dish.
No, it's just the internet thing. I love it. I love the thing. It's wonderful.
What is Nesson on there and Yes Network? What else?
So if you have the sports package, you get all the national Nesson channel, NBC Sports Boston,
NBC Sports Philadelphia.
No, you don't get NBC Sports Philly. That's the one holdup. They're not with.
Well, see, Fubo does. Fubo gets NBC Sports Boston, NBC Sports Philadelphia, Nesson. So I don't need the NBA or NHL packages, although I get all the NHL through ESPN.
Yeah, the thing is they block you because you're not in that area, but you get all the other local programming. And stuff.
Yeah, no, like even now I can't see Miami Heat games or Florida Panther games.
But you will get the Bally Sports Channel and whatever it's called. You will get that, be able to watch that and stuff.
On DirecTV and Fubo. So I'll be. It doesn't seem like this thing is going to end anytime soon. It's absolutely embarrassing. McAfee is the only one at ESPN with any balls who refused to do any of that shit, and he's calling people out and ripping ESPN. And
I'm proud of him for that. At least
I am too. So, all right. Once again, we go to Mike McDaniel. And thank you this week. And yesterday was just another one where he starts off with, we have to score more points. I can't stand it. Every time I listen to him, I feel like I lose brain cells.
Time out. Can we talk about Chris Greer getting fired? Because we didn't get to do that, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
What were your thoughts? It was for me, he was 25 years with the Miami Dolphins. He was with the Patriots before that.
Yep.
Somebody had to be the fall guy, as I quote the great Chris Carter on this. Honestly, I think McDaniel, they're going to keep McDaniel, which is a stupid thing anyways. I think Stephen Ross is an idiot. He's not he's not blowing out both people, but I see his point why he doesn't want to do it, because he wants to do it probably McDaniel at the end of the season. If I'm the Dolphins, just go to the Eagles and get one of their executives in GM rehab at least. Go there at least, or
he won't do it. Why is any GM other than being a sucker want to come and be the GM of the Dolphins when the owner is already telling you can't hire the coach?
It's bad. It's the worst. One fit in, 1 foot out thing I've ever seen before.
It's pathetic. And Tua's contract, Tua's going to make $65 million in 3 years.
It's dumb.
He's going to make high 50s the next couple of years. So I don't know how they're going to. I mean, obviously he's not going anywhere this year. But you got to, if they cut him before June 1st next year, there's all sorts of salary cap implications and all that, which I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. If they're not going to move on, if they're going to move on from Mike McDaniel, which doesn't seem not, and they're going to move on from Tua, their whole organization is completely screwed. I've said it time and time again. It's my preamble for Stephen Ross. Everything he does outside of the Miami Dolphins is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What he does with that football team, his ridiculous sentimentality is just embarrassing. And I played the clip earlier. What's his name? Who's the? I'll find it. Hang on, real quick. I want to play this real quick. I'm sure you heard it on Joe Rose's show. Summed it up real quick.
Omar Kelly.
Omar Kelly. Yeah, summed it up real.
How he doesn't want apathy and stuff.
Yeah, because the worst thing. Here it is, right here, and this sums. That's what I've been saying for 2 years.
I'm probably on my fourth friend who has told me.
Oh, I heard this. Yeah.
Season tickets. They're not renewing. They've lost interest. I've got friends who say who I know they watch every second of Dolphins football. We're like, I'm not even watching.
I've got it. I've got it too. I got it from family. Even the family down here said, I'm done. I'm just, I'm done.
Joe's wife. I'm not watching.
What are we doing? I'm done.
It's not even what are we doing. It's I don't care. And I've always told fans, Steve Ross's worst nightmare is apathy. Is the fans not caring, and all of these people who are responsible for, getting the season tickets renewed, they're just being hung up on. They're just being told, when you fire Mike, you call me back, where I'm not, and one guy was like, he's had his tickets for 20 years. He's got the greatest seats. He's like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. When the Miami Dolphins season ticket people call you, it comes up on most people's scam.
That's also the Cleveland Browns too, by the way, as well.
Yeah, same number. 1-800 you suck. It's just it's awful. Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. That tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, will be full of Buffalo Bills fans.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I enjoyed the Raven fan taking over.
Yes.
Everyone looked at me as like, you enjoy this? It's like, hello, I'm an Eagle fan. I take over stadiums. Our fan base takes over stadiums. Imagine when the Eagles come down here in a couple of years anyway. It'll be an Eagle home game then. Anyways.
Oh my God. It's just it's so sad. It's such a sad, pathetic organization, and with the worst coach, arguably one of the worst head coaches in the history of mankind.
It's bad enough. I told Dolphin fans, like, root for the other Florida team. At least they effing win anyways.
Yeah.
Like the Bucks, and I said that, and I almost had one Dolphin fan want to slap me in the face, actually.
Somebody on Twitter called out a producer from WQAM, and I had a feeling it was you that said something that you were encouraging. I don't know what it was. You probably, I'm sure Joe does the same thing. I know it
was probably Hollywood. Hollywood is, I know Hollywood gets a lot of grief. I get a lot of grief. Vlad gets a lot. The three of us get to
spend money on this organization. And look, I went through this with the Patriots. I went through it with the Red. I'm like, there's
Bruins too. Also,
Bruins too. Back in the, trust me, I was there when 5,000 people. The Steve Casper years, all that stuff before they hired Pat Burns and straightened themselves out. But they, I don't know. Stephen Ross, and that's the one you keep saying. Well, if the fans are going to really turn, they've already turned. That place will be a Buffalo Bills home game on Sunday.
Yeah. It was a Ravens home game last week, too, anyways.
Yep.
You could hear them do the, and when everyone looked at me, he's like, that's Raven fan for you. They're in the building, anyways.
Mm-hmm. I just don't.
And I had to do post game for that bleep show, anyways, on that Thursday night, anyways.
28-6.
And I was so happy they were booing. I was so happy. It was like, you have a spine. You're a sports fan, Miami. You learn to boo. I didn't condone the bags over the face, but I love it anyways. But it kind of shows that.
Did I show you what I wore for Halloween?
Oh, did you wear the bag over the face and stuff like the Dolphin fan?
Stand by. Talk to Angel for a second.
Angel, what's going on, my man? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a minute. What's your thoughts on these Dolphin fans? They learned how to finally boo. Can we say they're finally sports fans at least? Yeah. Yes. Is that I got the most grief from the Dolphin fans? Like, why are you telling us to boo? It's like, dude, it makes a point anyways. Anyway. That is perfect, by the way. That is so perfect.
By the way, I don't want anybody from the front office to the Eagles to go down to the Dolphins.
I know, but I know someone from Eagle Rehab. Like I'm saying this as a joke. Do we bring Chris Greer to Eagle Rehab as a GM rehab? That's what we usually do.
It's true. It's true.
That it's a usually true thing anyway. So
how about Phillips saying it's just the greatest day of my life? Got traded.
I love Jalen Phillips. I retweeted that already. I had 2 Dolphin fans like, shut the fuck up, Trevor. Already. So. This is what I get with Dolphin fan. I'm more happy that we have Jalen Phillips. Plus, we haven't had a Miami Hurricane on the Eagles since 2003. And that was Jerome McDougal. So I'm allowed to be happy for once at least.
Yep. By the way, how many sacks is Russo going to get? You see how he's been playing lately for Buffalo? I can't wait.
I can't wait for that. The Dolphins O-line is like a sun pass line on 95. Beep beep meow. Anyways.
Oh man! So all right, now let's get to enough shitting on the Miami. Let's go to
the Canes.
Hurricanes again, and just I upset at the College Football Playoff Committee. I wasn't expecting them to be in the College Football Playoff. I mean, I get it. There just seems to be separate rules for Notre Dame, separate rules for Miami, and then everybody else gets the benefit. It was when we played this team, they were ranked. so that should count. Doesn't matter. But when Miami has played 3 teams that were ranked and beat them all, okay, and then you beat the team that is now ahead of you by 8 spots in the college football playoff poll, something is wrong. It'd be one thing if they got blown out by Louisville and SMU. They lost in overtime. They lost a horrible 3-point game to Louisville. Obviously, both games were absolutely winnable. But this is the same group of people, or the AP vote, where they blew out Stanford 3 weeks ago, 42
And
to
dropped.
7, and dropped a spot in the poll. So I'm like, what if they? My gut feeling tells me they could be undefeated right now, and the committee still have them like 9 or 10.
They're putting their nose up to the ACC. This is what the ACC gets right now because you have horrible officiating, a league that doesn't take themselves seriously as a football league and a conference. We just only care about, as those people in North Carolina said, like, we don't care about your football team. We only care about the teams in the Carolinas. We care about the basketball team.
It's just
complete, utter crap.
You
Anyways,
think Oregon? I think Oregon would lose to Miami. I think they'd lose to Louisville, and I think Virginia would give them a great game.
yeah, Louisville will show out on Oregon. They'll put
What's Oregon play to deserve that kind of spot? No, but nothing. There's just a different set of rules for Big Ten, and you could say all you want. Yeah, the SEC, the Big Ten is top heavy. After that, it's mediocre at best. It's no different than the ACC. You think Georgia Tech wouldn't beat Oregon? I think they would.
Oh, they would too. I think Louisville, Brian Brom, who's going to be a head coach somewhere, or the NFL, he could just go up and down on Oregon. It's like, what up,
So Miami can still get in the college football playoff. They got to win out here, and they got to win out. They might need a little help, but they got to win out, which I still think is very possible that they do.
Need to.
They should crush. They should unload. That game should be 56-13 tomorrow. It better be something like that. It should have about 28.5 points. It's homecoming. Carson Beck better unload to the right people, and I want to see. If I want to see the 12 penalties for 96 yards, please just cut that in half. They're so undisciplined, so frustrating to watch. They should have thrown SMU out. First interception, not Carson's back ball. Then what's his name catches that ball? That's a touchdown.
CJ Daniels, but he wasn't.
Right out of his hands, right in his hands. Beautiful throw, and that turned the game around. But Carson Beck, you cannot throw an interception in overtime at the goal. I mean, just absolutely unbelievable. But this team plays so stupid at times and so undisciplined. It's so frustrating. So they got to clean all that up. They should win this. They should win this game by 4 touchdowns. They should. There is no.
If Santana Moss is here at homecoming, or anybody from that 01 or 2000 team, like, give this team a message, like a pep talk, like, hey, we blew out Syracuse many of times. Do it here, please, for the fans.
Michael Irvin on the sideline at SMU. I thought he was going to run on the field and hit somebody. And I mean, one of the teams. Yeah.
He met George. I love his vlogs, by the way. He met the W, by the way. George Bush, by the way.
Yeah. Yep. CJ Daniels.
He's questionable. I think
out.
that's what
I think he's out.
I was told questionable. If you listen to the Miami Hurricanes basketball game, we gave out a little injury report.
Is Mark Fletcher going to play?
I think he is out.
So we may not have CJ Daniels or Mark Fletcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
This ain't good.
It's not good. It's not good. I mean, look, they have other people that could. They got Brown and they got Lyle. Those guys can run.
Yeah.
Even Pringle Jr. I think has got some game. But
I love Malachi Tony.
Is their most obviously. You can make an argument that kid who's barely 18 years old is their MVP.
Oh yeah.
Between special teams and what he does. And he's just money, absolute money. But now you're going to have Marion and Johnson and Lofton, and those guys are going to have to pick up the slack here.
Yeah, and JoJo Trader if he wants to play or not.
Yeah, yep. But
so
I'm excited. So what's your schedule like before I let you go? What's your schedule like? Are you producing the Canes tomorrow, or?
I am producing the Canes Canes football game tomorrow. I'm off Sunday, by the way, for the first time in a while.
Oh, nice.
I'm going up to Wellington today. I got to go see my nephew finally, which I've not seen. So that's why I'm excited to see that. Sunday I'm off. Monday I got to do the Panthers Vegas game out in Vegas at 10 o'clock puck drop.
Ooh, good.
I know. It's either I kind of was like
3.
I think they did the Ducks game. I got home by like 2:30 at least. So at least the good news is I have a TV near me that has Monday Night Football already. So we're good with that at least.
Excellent. All right, there he goes. Great stuff always. Trevor Harris from WQAM in Miami. Try to calm Joe down. He needs a little massage during the show. I can't.
I would say this: thank God we don't have Gary Mariani from the ACC referee, because I think Joe would have a heart attack again.
God, unbelievable.
I say this one more time. I know how the FBI is investigating the NBA right now. Can we get to investigate the ACC officials, by the way? Make it happen, please.
I'm with you. There he goes. Trevor Harris, WQAM. Go Canes!
Go Canes, baby.
All righty. All right, Angel, quick break here, and then we'll come back with Jay Flanley up from Beeves World in Ann Arbor. Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. So head on down there to 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus, be there. Also, for the best articles and audio, there's only one source that provides everything you need 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff combing through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them, info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com, info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. Quick break, then we're back with Jay Flanley from Beeves World in Ann Arbor. We'll get into more college football, some NFL stuff, and a whole lot more. After that, Hector Longo at 8:30. We'll talk Patriots Bucks at 8:30. My pigskin picks. John Meter-Perrell, voice of the BC football team and the ACC network, will join us at 9. And Gabe Arenzi, Sports Rage from Sports Grid at 9:30 with his awesome picks. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a Friday on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woo-hoo. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
They've beaten us because they've scored more points and done the right football things longer than we have in those games that we lost. I think that that's the measure of a good football team, is being able to win.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel, very profound, more fortune cookie advice. The Bills have outscored the Dolphins the last 7 times. No shit, really. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. It's hour number 2 here on this Football Friday here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Checking us out at PShep326 on X, on the Facebook pages across YouTube, Kick, Rumble, CSD in Florida, LinkedIn. I think we're back on the, we're also on Instagram, on Odyssey, and CS on SR1029 The Game. I think we're supposed to come back on those apps today as well. And call or text the show, as always, 727-858-6650, as we await Jay Flannelly to come on board with us from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And we'll talk some college football with him as well. Adel Martinez, how are things going today? You're tired? Oh, but while we're waiting for him, and I did not know. I didn't see this, but I'm right under the show, Angel. We're going to have to refresh. I want to play this before Jay comes on. Alex Golesh last night after the win. But I guess UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor talked about something about the roster and the payroll. I didn't see this during the week, but coach wasn't very happy about it.
I do want to say I respect Coach Traylor so much. I respect the program that he's built from the ground up. Just want to guard and I've kept my mouth shut on it all week, but I do want to guard the comments made about that. And I understand what he's doing. He's trying to generate more for his own program, but don't do it at the expense of us. Don't do it at the expense of commenting about the resources we have, about what our roster looks like, and how much money is spent on a roster. Your prerogative is to go build your own program, but I think when you're talking about money on a roster, you're taking away from the fact that there's a bunch of dudes in that locker room that have poured into their process. There's a bunch of coaches that have demanded it of them. And I think when you make comments like that rosters are bought, it discredits the fact that there's recruiting, that there's relationships being built, that there's development and coaching going on. And I'm good with lobbying to make sure that you have the resources you need. I genuinely am. And I say it wholeheartedly that I have so much love and respect for Coach Traylor and what he's done and how he's done it, because he does it the right way. He's a good man, and he has a hell of a football program. But don't discredit the fact that our guys work as hard as anybody in the country. Our guys have developed, and yet we've got resources because we've made a commitment to building a special football program here and a special athletic department here. But I want to act like anybody's buying players around here, because that ain't the case, and that's never been the case. We recruit, we retain, we develop, we pour into our players, we love our players, but we demand a lot of our players, and we love them harder than anything we'll ever demand from them. And that's my only 2 cents on it. When you start talking about other people's rosters to try to benefit yourself, I think you tread water that implies that there's not an elite level of work here, and there's a ton that went into not just the recruiting and the retaining and the developing and the relationship building, but the fact that there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that has gone into those resources. Been a lot of lunches and dinners begging for resources to come up. So just don't discredit what these kids have done and what this coaching staff has done in terms of building a program that's sustainable, that's respected, where kids play really, really hard. And that's just my 2 cents on it. And I don't normally get up here and have any. It's just been eaten at me that those are the comments that are made to help your own program, and I'm good, but not at the expense of what these kids go out and do every single day and what this staff goes out and does every single day. So I'll just leave it at that, and I'll answer questions.
All right, I love this guy. Always have. Wait till he gets the budget next year at Auburn. That he's really going to be able to take his players with him. But he has never seen. Wait till the money. They're going to come after him. There's no question that a lot. Although I am seeing right now as we welcome in Jay Flanley from Beaver and Arbor. I'm seeing that Ryan Silverfield, the head coach at Memphis, is about to finalize a 5-year deal to coach Arkansas.
Hang on before you bring in Jay. Those who are watching live right now, there will be another load management day on Monday. You will not see Pete for his comments.
You keep saying that. I'm telling you, he's a hot commodity, especially. And if they continue to do what they do, and Notre Dame beats Navy this week, they're already in the hunt for the group of 5 possible college football players. He will be a hot commodity. There's no question about it. I've already told Angel I don't think he's going to be at that school next year, but we'll see. Anyway, Jay, good morning. How are you?
Doing better than Angel. He might lose his buddy, the coach. So
it's inevitable.
Well, I mean, what's his background? Is he from there?
Is he from where, Florida?
Where's he from? I mean, he has connections to the school.
I'm just saying. I'm only being half tongue in cheek. I think all these schools that UCLA. I think everybody is going to come after him. You know, because of how well
you would be.
And I think the Gators should make a serious run at him. I know. The reason why I say that is because they shouldn't have fired Dan Mullen. We know that. But you bring in Napier from Louisiana. Okay, it took him a bit to get going. He made a couple of offhand remarks. But this guy knows how to recruit in this state, in Florida. There's no question. He has done a remarkable job and knows that. Can you imagine him being the head coach of the Gators? He'd take half of the team of USF. They don't follow him over there. All I'm saying is they should give him Florida should give him a serious look. The Gators should give him a serious look. And when Norvell gets fired from Florida State, they should give him a serious look too. That's all I'm saying. And Auburn, all these other. This is a good up and coming coach that knows how to recruit. Period.
Yeah. I don't think the Auburn job is that good a job. It's like Michigan State. It's the second state job in the state. So I don't know if that's a great job.
Yeah, but you look.
I'm with you, and the Florida schools should definitely look at him. Sorry, Angel.
Alex Golish's offense, the way he can run an offense, with Hugh Freeze's with the defense, if he got Auburn should be like undefeated. With that defense, if you look at how they have played, their offense was abysmal. Hugh Freeze was supposed to come over from Liberty and what he did at Mississippi and revamp that offense, and he hasn't. Can you? I would love to see Alex Golesh with that type of talent on Auburn with that defense. I think it'd be very good. I'm just saying. I think all of these schools need to give this guy a serious look. That's all.
So hold on. Pete's got a side gig. He's Alex Goldish's agent.
No,
so there you go. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have a lot of respect for the man, what he's done, what he's accomplished, and I know USF has got the big renovation going on to build a new state. All that stuff, all that is great. I don't know if this guy's going to be around to see it. I think he's going to be that hot of a commodity. And if they ever get in the college football playoff, double bye-bye. Unless he's got that Mark Few mentality at Gonzaga.
Kenny Dillingham, that type of thing. Yeah,
where I'm comfortable here and I don't want to. But I'm not so sure.
But you know what? And not to make light of this, but I would have thought Cignetti was going to leave. Everybody had Matt Rule going to Penn State. I mean, a couple of these guys, some people stay.
Sure.
And obviously the Luke Fickell thing that happened yesterday, another one.
Yeah.
So so you never know what's going to happen with these things. By the way, I got a Penn State name for you.
Okay.
Brian Hartline.
Oh, I think I heard that this week. Yeah. So you think that's?
I've also heard that from a couple of people who whisper in my ear.
Ooh.
So there. I know, sir. That's what I was waiting for you to go with that one. I give you a layup. No, that was that's why you're not hearing, because Hartline's kind of blocked at Ohio State unless Day leaves. So it's like what Larry Johnson did when Larry Johnson was at Penn State, the D-line coach, and he left. So and he's the Ohio State D-line coach. So there you go. But,
I still think Auburn could be one hell of a job. I think that is still one of the.
I don't know, Pete. I don't know.
Look, if Gene Chizik can come over from Iowa State with that shitty 5-7 record that he had, and then won a national championship, then anybody can do it.
Here's the amazing thing. I'm glad you brought up the Auburn team with Cam Newton, the one that
Mm-hmm.
There's one other player from that offense that played in the NFL at all, and he played like 10 games. That's how good Cam Newton was in college. Cam Newton won the national championship with one guy on his offense who played in the NFL. That's it.
Yep.
This isn't like Joe Burrow with the LSU team in 19 and JJ a couple of years ago in Michigan and all these other super stacked teams, Tim Tebow's Florida teams and, some of these other teams and so forth. So you never know.
A couple things. I want to start in college football. Let's start in the Big Ten. Now, you guys have the week off, correct, right? Michigan's off this week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We need it. We're running out of players.
Yep. I hear you. Indiana, Penn State. Penn State, who would have thought 6 weeks ago they'd be a 14.5-point underdog in this game?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what to make of it. It's not one.
I do.
It is one I've taught. It's Indiana just crushes people. They just crush people. So 14.5 doesn't seem like a whole hell of a lot, unless it's one of those
ambush
game. It's gonna
ambush.
We walk through it kind of a thing. Because Penn State, you think have a chance. How many fans are all 101,000? They all going to show up? Are we going to have?
No, half the place is going to be Hoosiers fans. Watch. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to make. How many of their kids have quit since Franklin? got
I don't
dusted.
know that off the top of my head.
And remember, though, a lot of their players, they tried to do what Michigan and Ohio State did the last 2 years, and they retained a lot of kids and gave them NIL deals. And then obviously Allard got hurt. And then his backup, of course, went in the portal last year during the playoffs. Pabulia, he's the Missouri QB, he's also hurt. So I don't know. They looked okay for a half against Ohio State, and then they got gonged.
They haven't
so
won.
I don't know. But
do you know the last time they won? When they played Villanova.
A long time ago.
When they played Villanova.
Wow.
It's just unbelievable.
And they're not a basketball school, so that's bad. Yeah, I mean, no, it's Pete, how much it hurts me to see Phil Go Franklin and Penn State suffering so greatly.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Seriously.
Let's go back in the Peabody machine, way back machine.
Yes.
Let's go back, and I want to say it was the first year I moved down here in 2017. It was a huge upset then. It would be an even bigger upset, I think, now. And I think it was when Purdue at home beat Ohio State.
David Bell
went
crazy.
They were huge underdogs in that game. Purdue at home in the beautiful area of West Lafayette, Indiana, taking on the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes, and they are a 29.5-point dog in this one. But you know what? Stranger things have happened with Ohio State in the past. In games like this, Purdue, Iowa, it has happened. Maybe not. It has happened where they have been a big favorite and lay a big fucking fat egg. And this is Purdue's Super Bowl, obviously. The place should be jam-packed, right? It should be, at least for a half. At least for a half.
Yep.
Any chance at all Purdue can make a game of this at all?
No. They gave us a game because we have a lot of things going on with our team, injuries and so forth. Quarterback's kind of lost his way. Star running backs out, things like that. But no, the Purdue, Coach Odom's done a good job with that team. They're a complete mess. Waters ruined that team. And, we'll see. But no, Ohio State's going to come in here with the 0 next to one of their numbers, and then you leave with the 1 next to one of their numbers.
To win $100, Jay, to win $100 on Ohio State, guess how much you have to delay to win $100?
Like $375 probably.
On the money line for Ohio State to win $100 on the money line, $7,692 to win $100 on the money line. So that means you just have to win outright.
Yeah.
You're not laying the 29.
With my limited math skills, that's not good. So,
however, Purdue on the money line, not to cover, but to win $100 will bring you back $2,133. So that's 21 times investment on your money if Purdue should ever pull off the unbelievable. All I'm saying is stranger things have happened. I think Iowa's going to beat Oregon. I think Oregon is a fraud team. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I think they are. I don't think they deserve to be where they're ranked at all by any stretch of the imagination.
Is Dante Moore going to play in that game?
As far as I know,
because he got knocked out. He got knocked out in the Wisconsin game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. As far as I
know that because I work with the Wisconsin defensive coordinator's daughter.
Yeah. He was hit in the face, yeah.
Okay.
And had a bloody nose and all that stuff. He's expected to play. But Kirk Ferentz at home in these type of situations, he's like 21 and 22 and 3. I mean, these are the type of games that he wins. And I think Iowa's going to upset him. But
yeah, and they got the small college quarterback who's like rip off of Mendoza. He runs around, does his thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. But no, it's actually going to be a pretty good game.
No, I think
excited about that.
I think so. Yeah, Gronowski.
Yes.
Yep.
And my buddy who was the Iowa quarterback is now at ETSU with his kid brother as his backup.
Oh, well,
that's Cade McNamara, the ex-Michigan quarterback. So he's there.
Speaking of the Indiana game, I did not realize that for the Hoosiers. I did not realize this till I did a piece on it this morning that Mendoza is backed up by his brother who transferred
Yeah.
from Cal, another Mendoza. I don't
Yeah.
know why I didn't realize that. Fernando Mendoza.
So, Sienna, I love this. I keep going through my bartenders at work. Sienna, my bartender, she's with me on Saturdays and Sundays. She's from the San Francisco area, and her family, and they watch Cal a lot. So she told me about this kid when he went to Indiana. So it's like you never know where you're going to get your intel from, Pete. So he might be the first pick. He might be the first pick in the draft.
That's as good as anything. I'm telling you. We used to get calls from people on WEI once in a while anonymously, and the inside information that some of these people have because of relationships with other, literally they're related. And then we used to get tips on a lot of stuff. All the time.
Oh, there was a guy. Wasn't there a guy on your network who told you the Michigan was going to take Underwood away from LSU? Who was that guy? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So there you go. So there you go. It's amazing. So things like that happen. So you never know.
They do. I don't know if you could stomach watching that game last night. I mean, not USF's thumping of CSA. Was that not the most hideous football game I have seen in like 25 years? That was absolutely
so
pathetic.
I have RJ Harvey in fantasy. And of course, we're going against the Troy Franklin kid, who is the only guy in the game that did anything outside of Genty. I got 4 teams. I got Genty on one team, and I got RJ Harvey playing, and I think he had like 6 points. And listen, I'm gonna do something I don't like to do very much. I'm gonna bomb a coach. I'm gonna bomb 2 coaches actually, and a quarterback. What the F is Pete Carroll? What is he good at? I've never understood him ever. He sits there with his mouth open the whole game. He's a talent collector. I don't know. I don't know what Pete Carroll's teams do. And please don't give me the Seattle. Seattle they had a bunch of great defensive players.
Yeah, but you got to give him credit for bouncing back.
I give him credit.
Because I saw him firsthand what he did with the Patriots, and what got worse.
Awful. Team got worse every year.
But I'm telling you know what, Jay? The funniest thing, I may have brought this up to you before. Here's the thing about Pete Carroll that I'll never forget. In 1997 or 8, when the Patriots lost 7-6 in the playoff game in Pittsburgh.
That's the Mike Vrabel strip sack for the Steelers.
Mike Vrabel strip sack when Bledsoe had let him down the field and all of that stuff. People forget. Because Derek Cullors had to start that game, their 3rd string running back at the time, because Curtis Martin was hurt. I forget who the backup was. He was hurt. If they ever pull that out, they are hosting the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship the next week. And I'm not saying they would have won that game, but if they ever did, if you go back in the Wayback Machine again, what if? I don't know if Bill Belichick ever becomes coach of the Patriots.
And Tom wouldn't get drafted by the Patriots, and I'd be dead.
So everything happened. And Mike Petrelli and I had our car locked in. You talk about, you've seen tragedy gets bad. We had.
Okay, time out. Have you done a wellness check on Trags after Sunday?
We had him on. Yes, I had him on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Is he alive?
He's alive. He said, I said, what was when Loveland caught that ball? He said, we looked at each other in the press box. He goes, we all just started laughing. He said, it wasn't even a gasp. He said, we just started laughing.
He ran through the whole team. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. He ran through like 5 guys.
Yep.
I know. Here's the thing. And I love Trags.
Yep.
He's got the right gig because don't always, one of my favorite Ron Rivera sayings is, don't confuse what's important, what's interesting. The Bengals are at least interesting. They're not boring. They're very bad at times and also very good because they got offensive players everywhere. Yeah. The coach is a good offensive coach. But their defense is so effing bad. I mean, the game is never over, ever, either way. They could be down or ahead. It's never over. It's insane. And if you haven't seen the videos of the play of the first-round draft pick, defensive end, that Shamar Stewart guy who's getting pancaked all over the place, just look it up on Twitter. It's hilarious. He's horrible.
And their schedule is brutal the rest of the way. They may not win another game. Oh, they may win one.
Well, that's why I hated them getting Joe Flacco, because they should have tanked and reset their team with good draft picks. They should have traded Hendrickson.
Yeah, but that's going to happen anyway, Jay. They're so bad. I mean, and Flacco's
Yeah, but
on
they
fire.
still won. They still won another. They're going to still win 2 or 3 extra games because they have Flacco. They already won one. They won the one game
Yeah.
against Pittsburgh.
Their schedule is very, very tough. I don't have it in frame right now, but I went through with Mike, and he doesn't see a lot. Maybe another win or two. And that's about it.
There you go.
They're going to be Baltimore twice, I think. They got the Patriots, and it's going to be brutal. But he thinks Taylor's gone if this keeps up. And the Brown family is just doing. They don't get it. They just don't get it. They don't have a real.
Wait a minute. Time out. Trags is actually the Browns are bad owners. No way, really. So no. Before you let me go, let's talk about Marshawn Nealon. I think it's important.
I was going to ask you. And this is it's so you just don't know. Like you've said, you've brought up many times you've said you've had. Mental issues as well. Not knowing where your head is at.
Well,
this blocks the field goal and does an unbelievable thing on Monday Night Football, and then takes his own life. And we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes with these people. But go ahead, the floor is yours.
So I'm doing Movember on my Facebook. That's my mustache right here. So it's for men's mental health.
Yeah,
I've suffered from depression and anxiety for years. I just figured out 4 or 5 years ago. You never know what's going on. You and I joke about this all the time, how I'm friends with all the players. That's part of what I go and check on the kids after the games. And that's kind of one of my gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy. I would go check on all the good or bad.
Yep.
They know I'm there. And I think that's an important thing. Obviously, the guy I've been with for 30 plus years, who's fairly successful, is another one. But it's all the guys. I'm buddies with the third string long snapper, the 35th guy on the baseball team. I have kids that have been gone for 5 years and they still check on me. I see my man Hector Longo's coming on.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my main man. Look at him. That's my guy, right? He's smiling.
He's only on because
he knew me back when I had hair, Pete. So see, and that was a long time ago. So everybody keep an eye on your friends, take care of your loved ones, and ask for help. There's a lot of good resources. Movember is my charity going on right now, and that's for men's mental health and things like that. So it's on my Facebook, my page, and my Bees World page. So get with Hector here. I'm probably talking about the Bucks and the Pats. I'm in Switzerland this weekend. I'm neutral. So there you go. So go to my guy, and everybody have a good weekend. I'll talk to you Monday, Pete.
All right, bud. Thanks a lot. There we go. So it's like
Hector, behave yourself. Hector, behave yourself.
Jay Flanley, Beeves World, joins us. Did join us, and now we go to Hector Longo. You get something too. Hector Longo from the Eagle Tribune joining us here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Sandra must be home, your beautiful wife, because
we're working here.
No way in hell on a Friday, and had an audible from yesterday that you get on, and I see you wearing proper headphones now.
Yeah, we're doing well today, Pete. We're doing well. Jay's a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best.
Well, besides the injuries on both teams coming up this week between the Patriots and the Buccaneers at Ray J, everything else is hunky-dory. But it's going to be an interesting take. I'm going to assume Booty is out. I'm going to assume Stevenson is not going to play. We all know what the Bucs are banged up on the other side. Chris Godwin Jr., Bucky Irving as well. That maybe kind of evens things out a little bit. But I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Anything else you are hearing? What's going on this week with the Patriots? Let's start with them.
So, two kind of similar injury situations with the teams, I think. And I kind of think they were kind of similar teams to start with anyways, when you look at the way they're built and the way the quarterbacks have been playing. I will say one thing about this game, Pete. I kind of get a different vibe from the Patriots this week, a little bit different. And I'm going to write about this Sunday in the Eagle Tribune a little bit. I think it was a different Mike Vrabel this week. Come Wednesday, I think he had a different tone than he has been. You and I both around back when he was a player. He could be a nasty cuss at times back when he was a player, like when he had zero patience for the inane question, or you know what I'm saying? And I think he's been more of the kinder, make nice kind of guy through the first half of the year. But this week he got a little peeved when the talk came about the trade deadline and They're not doing anything at the deadline, and
Pregnancy comment. The pregnancy comment.
yeah, that was kind of old school Mike Vrabel, and I guess I kind of like that.
I know he's
You
getting
know,
sick of the schedule talk, but I mean, look,
right?
you see Carolina, what they did last week to Green Bay. They're 2 touchdown underdogs, and they go up there and win. So, I mean, people can talk about the schedule all they want. It is what it is. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And, last week they sleepwalked through the last 2 minutes of the first half. But nevertheless, good teams win games like that. And they would not have won games like that the last couple of years. So,
No, and I'm not. The kid missed the extra point.
yeah.
There was, whatever, 5-6 minutes to go. There's no saying what the Patriots would have done in that last 5 minutes. May was having his way offensively pretty much.
Yep.
So I kind of like the getting defensive kind of Mike Vrabel. I think it does have a little bit of old school Mike Vrabel from him, and that's good. Like I want to see him angry. I want to see him ready to fire back. I was getting tired of the everybody's buddy Mike Vrabel a little bit, and
Yeah.
he's failing a little bit with this team. I think he sees what's going on. They're 7-2. He's winners of 6 in a row. I think he likes what he sees now, and maybe he wasn't sure
How
early.
can you not? And that was a really coachable game last week. I'm just Stephon Diggs said it felt like a loss. I kind of get what he was saying. There's a lot to take away from that game from a coaching standpoint. But look, they did. I mean, you could say what you want about Cleveland, say what you want about Atlanta. Statistically, they're 2 of the best defensive teams in the league, and they did a pretty good job against them. And now you're going up against a different animal here, another good defensive team. Vita Vea and company, and that is a really good Buccaneers front seven. There's no question about it. Levante David, they got a pretty good secondary. Whitfield Jr. As well. Jamal Dean. I think this is going to be like a 24-20 game. I'm probably going to pick the Bucs when I do my skin picks after we are done here, but I don't want to. I just feel like they're going to make that one more play than the Patriots this week, and I hope I'm wrong. But this is going to be. I know there's a ton of Patriot fans that are going to be at this game.
Yeah, this is going to be I mean, we haven't seen a game like this in a long, long time for the New England Patriots, Pete. I mean, I know the Buffalo game was big, but earlier in the year, but I think people might have thought people might have been thinking that we're not sure about what's going on here. People are feeling it about the Patriots now. The Patriots are feeling it about the Patriots, and I happen to think that if you look around the league, if you look at the games that are played, winning is a skill that is learned or taught, and winning is. Look at Atlanta. That franchise is never going to figure out how to win. There are just some franchises that just aren't.
They've never been the same since the Super Bowl. Never.
Right. They're still a scarred franchise, and I think the Patriots knowing how to win, that's a giant step. That's as big a step as having the quarterback, having that winning attitude. And how can you complain about what the way they've won games? They won games in all different fashions. They've won close games. They've won games where teams have fallen flat on their face, and they've gone out and beaten teams. So they're not a one-trick pony. That they're finding ways, but they're also creating ways too, if that makes any sense.
And I said it earlier, I quoted, my friend Jerry Callahan. I did not get my boxers in a bunch this week because I didn't make a major move. All right. Most of the teams in contention didn't do anything, Colts withstanding. Most of the teams that are in contention did not make this major splash, which I think a lot of fans forget. On the other hand, that son of a B down there in Tennessee, Amy Adams Strunk, who sabotaged the Patriots, who wanted to, they wanted to get Aiden Key, the pass rusher. They wanted to get Tony Pollard, the running back, and even Ridley might have been involved, possibly. And she stopped it. And I'm 100% convinced of it. I've talked to enough people. She stopped it, and all she did was she screwed up her team even more. Personal vindictiveness. That is just stupid ownership.
Well, I don't think that kind of attitude is limited to her, though. Honest to God, like if you look around owners, they're all vindictive and they all hold grudges. I mean, Jerry Jones and Bob Kraft had a thing for a long time, and that just happens with people in that kind of price range, Pete. Honest to God, it becomes personal more than anything else. So,
But it shouldn't at the behest of your
no,
football
it should
team,
not, because you're
especially
hurting your
a team like
football
that's
team.
1-8. I mean, teams like that. What are you doing? What are you thinking?
Yeah,
And I'm
they
sure
should
the people
definitely.
in Nashville were ripping her to shreds too, as they usually do.
Well, right, and there's a reason that football team is where it is right now, and the way it is, and how decrepit it looks. It's kind of like the Jets, there are reasons for that, ownership, and
Right.
it starts at the top. But getting back to the Pats roster, Pete, look around the league. When you see Seattle, the kid Horton making plays, and
Yeah.
every team is down to their third or fourth guy, Pete.
Mhm.
So at some point, your guy Chisholm or Kyle Williams or somebody is going to have to step in with booty out. That's just the way it is now in the game.
I'm with
NFL is
you.
about attrition more than anything else.
I think Chisholm has got to be. He's going to be on the roster this week, no question
Mhm.
about it. And he's got to be in there. I want to see him, and maybe he's just not running good routes in practice. I don't know what it is, or it's a numbers game, but I just get the feeling when that kid comes in, and something good is going to happen. I really feel that way. I hope we get a chance to see him outside of special teams, where he's been okay, running back kicks. But I hope that we get to see him, in the slot. And I have a feeling we will. And Williams, I don't know what the hell is going on with him. I really don't know what the hell is going on with him, but he needs to get his head out of his tuchus and get into it here, because he's just not running good routes.
No,
When he's
no.
out there, I mean, he's never open.
And he played something like 30 snaps this week, and you barely noticed him on the field, Pete. And I know that the company line goes out that he's a good blocker, and that's why they put him on the field. That's not why you draft a kid in the third round at wide receiver, because he's a good stock blocker. That's just not the way it happens. So yeah, but the point I'm trying to make, Pete, there is, Tyquan Thornton was making plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
So is
Guys,
Juju. So is Juju Smith-Schuster. I
right.
can't stand it.
So teams rely on that depth.
Yeah.
I think maybe the Patriots have to have a little faith in that depth. When guys like Booty get hurt, or when guys get banged up. There are guys that are signing and making plays every week. Every week there's a guy with 100 yards to go. Who the heck is he? And so to expect the Patriots to go out and just give away a fourth-round pick for Jacoby Myers, because it would be nice, because he knows the offense, and that just doesn't happen in football. He wanted out, he got out, but it's not like the Raiders were going to tell him, okay, yeah, we'll send you wherever you want to go. Pick your town. We want you to, if you want to go to New England, we'll get you there. That's not how it works in the NFL. So I like, you just have to go with your guys. And I think Vrabel knows that, I think more than anything, he knows that this is what we've got. We're going to go with it. And so I wasn't surprised that they didn't make any kind of big deal on Tuesday.
And the Buccaneers, they just are resilient. They just find ways to win no matter who's out there. Obviously, Mike Evans is gone for the year. Godwin's not going to play, or Bucky Irvin's not going to play. But then Rashad White comes in, does what he has to do. They still have a very good tight end in Cade Otton. And then you have, Baker Mayfield, who is he's as tough as they come, resilient as they come. So this is going to be this should be a dogfight. This goes right down to the wire. What team makes the one play or commits the one turnover that'll be detrimental? Because this is really one of those games where you lose the turnover battle, even if it's 2-1, it's going to be absolutely devastating for the team that loses the turnover battle in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I will say this: I think Otton scares the daylights out of me.
Yeah.
The way that two things pop out. Otton this week, I think he's going to have a big week. And the second thing is Mayfield has struggled the last couple of games, and I think the bye week will help him kind of reset. And I think he's ready to have a big game. Those two things kind of scare me coming in, because he still does have Ibuka. He still has decent weapons out there, even if Godwin doesn't play. So I think he's ready for a big day. And on the positive here, Pete, I think that the Patriots are going to get a quality showing out of Tampa. So now it's going to be a really good gauge. Okay, they're not going to get Tampa stumbling around and not being able to run the football, not being able to move the football. They're going to take shots in the face from Tampa on Sunday.
And speaking of running the football, so now I thought Travian Henderson ran with conviction last week. I thought he looked very, very good. So we're talking about him and Terrell Jennings. They're going to lead the way here, as Stevenson's not going to play. So
No. So Henderson did make some pretty solid strides. I can do without the fumble.
Well, obviously, yes, yeah.
You can do without the fumble, but the game looked a little bit slower to him moving forward. I think he got caught up in a whirlwind the first half of the year, and wondering where he was, where he fit in, what he could do against athletes at this level. I think he kind of settled in a little bit this week, and maybe not having Ramondre around, not trying to be Ramondre, try to be Travian Henderson instead of trying to be Ramondre Stevenson, kind of helped him a little bit. And Jennings is developing into a solid backup pro, kind of like the guy in Tampa, White. Obviously White had a big year a couple of years back before Irving showed up. I think they just, they're solid, serviceable back. I think he's a solid, serviceable back is basically what I'm trying to say. So as long as they can stay healthy, the two of them stay healthy, and that kind of scares me about Henderson being a rookie. And, one of the rookies said, I think the safety Woodson said it over the weekend, this is kind of the end of the college season, and they're just getting into it as pros. So it's kind of a learning experience, that 17-game season. So I would watch Henderson's health as a key issue, but he could pose some definite problems for Tampa this week. I think because of the way he attacks the edge.
And we talked about the Bucs offensive line. They're still dealing with injuries. They had the week off last week. Luke Getke, there's a knee injury, the right tackle. He's working his way back from injured reserve. Luke Haggard with that shoulder, he's out. He's not going to play. He missed the last couple of games, and we just said Godwin Irving and Hassan Reddick still need more time. So Patriots front seven, I think, can cause some havoc here for Baker Mayfield as well. I really do. I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be some punts in this game. Let's put it that way.
I know we talked about it too, Pete. One of the last times we were on, Milton Williams is playing at a really high level up front, and the way he's playing is kind of not setting a tone, but he's kind of, the defense is basically revolving around him, and offenses have to stop him. And I think that's freeing up the other guys up front to make plays. I love the way Williams played last week. Somebody mentioned, I think it was Bill Bird actually who mentioned it to me. He goes, he's kind of a Richard Seymour. He's impacting a Richard Seymour kind of way, where he's just, watch him play the line. It's always his guy going back 2 yards. And then all of a sudden, the offense is off kilter because of that. I love the way Milton Williams is playing, and he's only going to make them better. It's no secret that he's helping Spillane, because Spillane started slowly.
He's my new favorite player. Bronco, the former Bronco, not the Denver Bronco, the Western Michigan Bronco. I love his style. It's something that, and not just because of the interception and everything else, I love watching him play.
He had some flavor on that defense for sure. Yeah. And the one thing you get with him is the motor never turns off.
Yeah.
He had trouble early with his fits and picking the wrong hole and getting a little bit, I don't want to say exposed, but getting beat a little bit inside. He's lessened that, and he's still going at 100 miles an hour the whole time, and that's what you can respect about him. That's how he piles up tackle numbers. Some of them are after 6-yard gains, but he's still making impactful tackles. It's something that that defense really needed, because if you looked at the linebacker core, and I know Ellis is hurt and probably won't play, they struggle inside, at linebacker. He's been a stabilizing force, the last, I want to say, 6 weeks.
Yeah. All right, my man. You coming down for the game at all?
I am not. No. Okay. I would, as much as I would love to be in Tampa this time of year, I'll be at the residence and
nice.
Taking it all in. It's one of those rare things. Like I get the bonus this week and last week. Instead of going to Foxborough, or this week and next week, instead of going to Foxborough on a Sunday and being entranced in one game, I get the red zone on Sunday. This week, and since the Patriots play Thursday night at Foxborough,
that's right.
I'll have next Sunday too. So it's a good thing.
All right, my man. Thanks so much. And I don't care if the Jets get 25 first round, they'll still fuck it up. It's only doesn't matter. I don't care what they did. I don't care if people calling them smart. Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Who's calling the Jets smart, Pete? Nobody's calling the Jets.
No, for doing all those deals. They look smart on paper. Wait till you get into
my
that
gosh.
stadium. Anyway.
Yeah, but then the GM comes out and tells us all that they didn't tear it down. Well, what did you do? What the hell were you doing out there if it's not a tear down?
Aaron Glenn with his MI6 regarding starting quarterbacks, as if it fucking makes a difference.
Right.
Anyway, all right, man. Love you. Have a good week. We'll talk next week.
Pete, great talking to you. Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks, Angel.
There he goes. Angel Martinez. Angel Martinez is back with us, and Hector Longo from the Eagle Tribune is gone. All right. Quickly here, Angel. I got time. Just a few minutes here before I'm going to take another quick break. But I can squeak in my pigskin picks. Last week, not very good. So the next month is free. I went 5-8 in the NFL against the spread, and in college, 0-4-1. I cannot tell you at least 5 of those games of the 18 games that I picked. 5 of them were decided by 2 points. So it was horrible. Anyway, we redeem ourselves today, Angel. As you know, I pick against the spread against all the NFL. I give you the 5 best bets in college football. Then I give you my best bet of the week and my underdog of the week. So let's get it going. I'm going to run through these and then take a break, okay? First off, in college, it's tonight at 9 o'clock on Fox. Yes, USC minus 14.5 versus Northwestern. I'm laying the 14.5 with the Trojans. Next up, tomorrow, Indiana on the road at Penn State. They are also 14.5 point favorites. I don't care. Penn State stinks. Indiana kills everybody. I do not think they are going to have a lax performance. I don't think they're going to look at it as a trap game or anything else like that. Noon time on Fox tomorrow. Indiana blows out Penn State. Next, tomorrow at noon on ABC, one of the big games of the day. BYU is a 10-point underdog on the road at Texas Tech. Give me the Cougars with a 10-point head start. I think this game comes right down to the wire. It's like number 7 against number 8. I mean, I'll take the 10-point head start, so I'll take BYU plus 10. Next, Iowa is a 6.5-point dog at home against the highly overrated Oregon Ducks. That's 3:30 on CBS. Give me the Hawkeyes all day long at plus 6.5. These are the kind of games that Kirk Ferentz wins outright, and I think they will. You get a 6.5-point head start. And then Alabama is home as a 10-point favorite to LSU. That's 7:30 tomorrow night on ABC. I'll roll with the Tide and lay the 10 with Alabama. So to recap my college, USC minus 14.5, Indiana minus 14.5, BYU plus 10, Iowa plus 6.5, and Alabama minus 10. To the NFL we go. I would have had Denver last night minus 8.5, so I'm going to count that as a loss, even though I didn't get to pick the show, but I'll be honest with you, I would have picked them. Indy minus 6 versus Atlanta in Germany. Love the Colts all the way. Atlanta's terrible. Baltimore, I'm taking the Ravens at plus 4.5 on the road at Minnesota. Should be a hell of a game. I'll take the 4.5-point head start. Buffalo minus 9.5 at Miami. Yes, I'm laying the 9.5. Miami's terrible. I don't think the Bills are going to look at this as a trap game. They win by 2 touchdowns. Next, Cleveland is a 1.5-point favorite at the Jets. The Jets shouldn't be favored, or the Jets, I'm never going to pick them to beat anybody this year. So I'll stick with Cleveland in an ugly, horrible 10-7 game. Cleveland minus 1.5 at the Jets. Next, Houston minus 1.5 at home versus Jacksonville. Bad spot here for the Jaguars. Got a bad feeling about this game. I'm taking the Texans minus 1.5. Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point favorite at home against my Patriots, and yes, it pains me to do it. I'll take the Bucs minus 2.5 because I think this is a 3 or 4 point game, and I think the Bucs are going to find a way to squeak out a win against the Patriots. I hope I am wrong, but I'm taking Tampa Bay minus 2.5. Next, Carolina off their red-hot win, 2-touchdown underdog on the road against Green Bay. They win the game outright. Can they continue as a 5.5-point favorite at home this week versus New Orleans? I think they can. Carolina minus 5.5. Next, Chicago is a 3.5-point favorite at home against the Giants. Not a fan of how the Giants are playing right now. I will take Babe Williams -3.5. Bears -3.5 at home over the Giants. Seattle -6.5 versus Arizona. Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter for the rest of the year, coming off that huge win in Dallas, and they have to go on the road. I think it's a tough game. I think they barely cover, but I'm taking Seattle -6.5. Tough one to call, though. Next, Detroit -8.5 at Washington. Loving the Lions all day long. The Commanders cannot get out of their own way. And San Fran, I'm taking a +3.5 versus the LA Rams. This is always a very good game, close game. I'm taking the 49ers with a 3.5-point head start because I think it's a field goal game. That hook is big. And then Sunday night, the overrated Steelers. You think I'm picking them? No, even though there'll be more Steeler fans at SoFi. Chargers -3 over the overrated Steelers. And then come Monday, I like Green Bay is at home, a 2.5-point favorite versus Philadelphia. We'll give that pick on Monday. So to recap, Denver -8.5, which I lost. Indy -6, Baltimore +4.5, Buffalo -9.5, Cleveland -1.5, Houston -1.5, Tampa Bay -2.5, Carolina -5.5, Chicago -3.5, Seattle -6.5, Detroit -8.5, San Fran +3.5, and the Chargers -3. My best bet, which are 4-4 on the year, is Indianapolis in Germany -6 over Atlanta. My underdog of the week is going to be the Iowa Hawkeyes +6.5 at home against Oregon. I'm 4-4 in my best bets, 5-3 in my underdogs of the week. So there you have it, my pigskin picks for the week here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. All right, Angel, my friend, we can take a break. John Meade-Farrell going to join us, the voice of BC football, and also the ACC Network going to join us. And Gabe Morency at 9:30. He'll have his picks. The professional have his picks coming up at 9:30 this morning. Meter, up next, we talk about BC and SMU and the rest of the ACC here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
I don't know how we control a narrative that is kind of controlled for everyone. You know, if two teams have the same record, one team has better wins than the other, and one team beat a team head-to-head, they shouldn't be ranked 8 spots behind them. If we're saying now it's about data-driven metrics, it's no longer about your opinion and eye test as much. But all we heard last night's an eye test. You know, if I'm Louisville, how am I ranked behind a Notre Dame? Just, you know, and so – but every year there's going to be, if it wasn't us, it'd be the other league, right? Someone's going to have a gripe. And my whole thing is that's part of what makes college football great. It's awesome. I love, you know, for the next month, there's just going to be a lot of great debate. And that's what makes our game great. But
All right, that's head coach Rhett Lashley of the SMU Mustangs making a whole lot of sense. And it's just unbelievable, the hypocrisy that goes on in this college football playoff committee, the disrespect for the ACC, the over-respecting of Notre Dame. And it doesn't make sense. They apply these analytic crap to certain teams and won't do it for other teams. It's unbelievable, and he's absolutely right. John Meter-Pearl is going to join us in just a minute. I'm sure we'll have more. Here's more from Coach Lashley. Just signed a big extension, by the way, with SMU. He ain't going anywhere anytime soon either.
Take as much out of the human element of picking people as we can. No one else picks people. It's not a pageant. Earn it. And so in the NFL, you know, I got to be one of the 7 teams in the AFC or the NFC to get in. It's not hard. Do that. But if I win my division, I'm in. And so at college level, is it 16 teams? I don't know. I mean, in a perfect world, yeah, with 4 automatic bids from the 4 major conferences. But we have all these other caveats we got to try to please. So maybe the one that 3 of the 4 leagues back right now with 24 teams is great. And there's 136 teams in college football. 24 out of 136 is not watered down. And if right now in the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the SEC, everybody knew they're competing for 4 spots, you just talked about 6 teams in our league competing for 2 right now. Think of the parity that you could have and how great college football could be because you earn your way in. You earn it. No one has to go politicking for it. No one has to gripe that they're ranked behind or ahead of somebody. Man, finish in the top 4 in your league and you're in, and you get a chance to go play for it. To me, that would make a lot of sense. It's out there, and I think 3 of the 4 leagues really back it. And so until we get to more of a you earned it and it's not opinions or metrics or eye tests or committees. I mean, guys, we got committees with only 3 coaches on it. And guys that are, actually sitting coaches or ADs at other schools, not coaches, but ADs, administrators at other schools. Like, they're good people, but there's human bias. So to me, until we get out of this, we're picking it and you're earning and change it to you're earning it, we're going to have this every year.
No, I agree. And that's why people want, I know that's going to go to 16 in a couple of years. And I know there that want the 2014 playoff, which, like you said, is it really watered down? 136 teams, 24 make it? I don't think so. To me, the more college football, the better. I hope they do get to 24. They probably won't, but if they, getting to 16 would help a lot. But it's just, to me, the torrential flood of illogic and hypocrisy that applies to some of the Big Ten's all top heavy. After that, you cannot tell me that Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami, Virginia wouldn't beat up on some of the teams in the Big Ten, and they'd certainly give the SEC teams a lot of money. I can't wait for Georgia Tech to play Georgia at the end of the season, although I'll probably root for them to lose if it helps Miami, who has to play Pittsburgh their last game of the season. I mean, it's just amazing to me how Notre Dame can be 8 spots higher than Miami, even though Miami beat them, and it's beaten 3 ranked teams and beaten better teams than Notre Dame has this year. It's just, I don't get it. And then you got a team like Oregon that's sitting there at number 8. And who have the Ducks beaten? Okay, I'm not going to play the game where they beat Penn State and look at Penn State now. You can't do that. See, this is what the committee does. They look at games. They beat Montana State. They beat Oklahoma State. They beat Northwestern. 4 bad teams in Oregon State. So they're 4-0 before they get to Penn State, which at the time was ranked 3rd. And they win in overtime, 30-24. They very easily could have lost that game. So people are going to look at that game and go, wow, look at Penn State now. Do we really put a lot of merit in when Oregon beat Penn State? Yes, you have to do that. And I say that about every single team. You have to do that. And the committee is the hypocrisy is a fucking joke when they start talking about, they don't apply that to Miami or Louisville or Georgia Tech or even Virginia. They don't do it. It's good to say, Oregon beat Penn State, but look at Penn State now. Oh, really? Well, you can do that with all these teams that beaten ranked teams. Why should Oregon be 8? They lost to Indiana by 10. They've beaten nobody. They have no business being up there. You cannot tell me that Miami, Georgia Tech, and Louisville would not give Oregon. I think they'd beat them. I think all 3 of those schools would beat Oregon. All 3 of them would beat them. And Virginia probably give them a game too. Where is it? I don't know where this stuff comes from this committee. They make up shit as they go along, as Lashley said, which is great stuff by him earlier this week. There's only 3 coaches on the committee. I don't know how much these other jamokes watch these games. I don't know what they're doing. And you heard just Coach Lashley just say right there and then, there's human biases. There is no doubt about it. Notre Dame has fucking separate rules for everybody else. It's a goddamn joke. I'm so sick of it. Why doesn't it get addressed? Why? And the commissioner of the ACC should be livid, absolutely livid that this is going on. I'm telling you, I have had it. And I'm not saying Miami should be up in the college football playoff right now. They lost 2 of their last 3. But when you start applying the same logic that people do to Notre Dame and don't do it for Miami, who's beaten 3 ranked teams when they were ranked, but the committee never brings that up. But if Oregon beat Penn State, that counts because they were 3rd. Well, when Miami won against USF and Notre Dame and Florida State when they were ranked, that doesn't have as much weight as what Oregon does when they beat Penn State. It's a fucking joke. Good morning, Meter.
I'll tell you, there's
Praise
smoke.
Praise to Coach Lashley this week for bringing up what he did.
There's smoke coming out of my computer right now.
How you doing? Hey, there was
Oh
smoke
my
coming out of Billy
goodness.
O'Brien's. Hey, the kid he went after this week. I don't know him. I saw his Twitter account. I don't know who he does play by play with. Who's that kid?
He doesn't do anything. His
What?
name is he has a BC related podcast. He's a BC grad. You would call him a hanger on, Pete. Someone who
Shows up
just
once a month.
yes, yeah. He was there yesterday. Yeah, I love the fact he showed up yesterday. That was good timing, I guess, on his part. But and there was no incidents yesterday that I
How many
know of.
radio shows did he do up there because of the? I mean, it was a fair question. It's the way. Yeah, I understand Billy O'Brien's response completely. I get it. And
Yeah, no. The question was disjointed, though. It's like
yeah.
that's
Why do you
not.
have to bring up Notre Dame being a Catholic school? What the fuck does that have to do with
Who
anything?
cares?
He
Who
could have said
cares?
Miami of Ohio to be the same. I mean, what does that mean?
Doesn't
Right?
mean anything. It's just him trying to say, I talk to a lot of people and they tell me they're upset. No kidding.
No kidding.
Yeah, really,
We go
really. They're
Einstein.
upset about 1-8 record. It's like
Ugh.
every member of the team and the coaching staff. No kidding, Mike. No, that was absurd. And
But I don't know where. I don't know who he does play. He says play by play. I
doesn't
don't.
do
It
play
didn't
by
say
play
who.
that I know of.
It says on his Twitter account play by play.
He works for CBS as I believe, a researcher. CBS Sports.
Okay.
But fine, nice guy. You know, harmless, but it was just the teapot explosion. We know it's well documented.
Yep.
We laughed about. I talked to Bill last night. We laughed about it, and he's trying to
Well,
keep a sense of humor about it.
it's all again, it goes back to my rant. All right, BC played. You can say, and I don't like doing it. You could say Notre Dame kind of sleptwalked through that game, but I think BC played one of their best games of the year.
They
You
did.
lose to that team. You lose to that team by only 15, and Notre Dame vaults up to the 10th spot. Miami blows out Stanford 3 weeks ago and drops a spot. And see, that's what I don't understand. Notre Dame should have dropped by the committee standards, the way teams are playing, and don't think for a second, as you know, that they don't think covering means something. Notre Dame sort of sleepwalked to be a 30-point favorite basically and win by 15. They should have dropped. They should not have been promoted up to where they were. This committee is a joke. I say that every year, and every year it gets worse.
Yeah, no, I think it's just you made a good point before I came on about they need more coaches. They need more
Yeah.
football, quote, people probably. It'd be nice to have a commissioner for football. Bill O'Brien's talked about that. A lot of coaches have talked about that. Streamline the process, make it more transparent. Lashley was right about
Yeah.
the biases. Everything's biased. And now SMU's probably going to make a case, even though they have 3 losses. They're going to try to make a case. Everybody with 2 or 3 losses is going to try to make a case. That's where we're at with this thing.
But here, here's the thing. They're not going to. They can't. There's no case. They're going to throw that 13 to. They lost to Wake 13-12.
Exactly.
And then Wake goes to Florida State the next week and loses by 35. I mean, come on. And Miami beat. So wait a second. So Miami beats Florida State. That beat Wake, that beat SMU. Now also Miami beat Florida, that beat Texas, but that doesn't come into play either. See, the committee just play. If that was Notre Dame, that would be all the headlines. See, look at it. So by all accounts, Miami is better than most of the people in the top 10 because of who beat whom and this, that, and the other thing. It's just the hypocrisy just blows me away, Meter. I can't stand it.
Hypocrisy is prevalent everywhere, Pete. I thought you were going to come on here and just rip the New York City election, but I guess
I never talk politics. I never do.
I know you don't.
It's not worth it. It pisses off sponsors one way or the other.
Yes, it does.
It's not my problem. You want to pay 51% taxes in New York? Go ahead. Go live there.
Oh my goodness, you guys got to have an influx pretty soon. You'll have
free, but they're going to have free bogadas, right? Free grocery.
Free bodegas.
Yeah, bodega.
Yes.
When I say bogada. Yeah, but might as well go to Borgata or Atlantic City and play for free, right here.
Free for everybody, Pete. But no, I think look, the hypocrisy will all be hopefully will go away here the next couple of weeks as we move towards the final rankings, and everything is. I don't think everything will be great in the final 12, but hopefully there won't be that many disagreements.
I hear Mac, what's his name, do the explanation every time. I listen to these guys try to explain themselves, and what they say about one team is totally opposite when they start talking about the other team. Like I said, I mean, they praise Oregon for, I don't know why. I don't know why that team's ranked where they are. They've done nothing. You could,
They win games they're supposed to win. That everybody likes. Oregon's a marketing dream. Oregon,
they're going to
people
lose
like
this
to
week.
watch Oregon.
They're going to lose this week at Iowa anyway, so I'm convinced of it.
Dante Moore's a Heisman contender. Dan Lanning's a great coach. Yada yada yada. We've heard every storyline. Phil Knight, did you hear? He runs the program. I'm with you. They're not. Look, the beauty of the season this year. We said it. You and I said it. August 30th. It's anybody's ball game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would have thought that Indiana is a favorite to win the national championship?
14.5-point favorites tomorrow at Penn State. What if I told you that 6 years ago? 6 weeks ago, you would have thought I was nuts.
6 years ago, I definitely would have thought you were nuts.
Well, 6 years ago, they beat Michigan right at the. Who they play? They beat Michigan right in the last second.
They beat everybody.
No, I mean 6 years ago they won when they started to they started to rise as a program a little bit. But yeah, I mean they were the UMass of the Big Ten for many years. By the way, kudos to UMass for finally hiring Thor Bjorn, stealing him away from URI.
I spoke to their executive vice president last night at dinner, who is the second in command of Marty Meehan, who runs the UMass state system. We were at the Stockyard, one of your favorite spots in Brighton. And he told me that they are steadfast behind football. They're committed to it. They're going to do whatever they can to dig out of it. They like Joe Harizmiak a lot. He knows it's basically a disaster now, but they're sticking with it, Pete.
Well, I think this is a step in the right direction. As I was going, I had some kid argue with me. I'm sure some kid is like, UMass is headed in the right direction. I go, you just lost to Akron and got your butts whipped on national TV to Akron in front of 50 people. And it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
It keeps getting the problem with them. Problem with them is, Pete, it keeps getting worse.
That's what I mean.
Every game you would think it at least obviously BC's had a tough year, but at least they've shown signs the last couple of weeks they're a better team. The injuries are still there. Poor quarterback play at times, yada yada yada. But at least they're getting better. UMass is not getting better. They're totally regressing.
Yep. No doubt about it. All right, let's talk about your game this week at Alumni Stadium tomorrow at noontime on the ACC Network and also on the WEI. You're the play-by-play voice. So SMU coming off that horrible win against my Hurricanes, just absolutely disgusting.
Disgusting. I can't believe Miami lost that game.
I can't either. They should have blown them out by 20. There's no question. And I think Lashley's a great coach. And I'm glad he signed the extension with SMU. That means he's going to stay there for a while. But nevertheless, this week, I think you guys have a good shot. Well, now, which SMU team is going to show up? The team that lost to Wake Forest, or the team that stormed the field last week after beating the Hurricanes? I don't know. Some interesting numbers in this game.
Yeah, there are. I think I wish I had that answer. I look at SMU and I say exactly what you just said. Who are they? I do know they're a good turnover forcing team. They don't have a great pass rush. Moses tied for the nation lead in interceptions with 5. Wakobe is a pro safety. Kilgore is a decent linebacker. Their defense is getting better. They have no running game, but they do have a dynamic quarterback. And quarterbacks who extend plays, we saw that last year. BC could have won that game last year at SMU. Mm-hmm. Kevin Jennings, though, extends plays, and he's played hurt for a lot of the year. I talked to their radio voice yesterday. He said Jennings is the toughest kid on the team this year, and that's something they didn't expect. So he's getting better. So that's a problem. And can BC contain the tempo? I think BC can move the ball against them. I think BC's offensive line is, it's always been hurt this year, and it continues to be hurt. But I think they showed signs last week of at least pass protection. They couldn't run the ball against Notre Dame. But it's just a matter of it. It's also, here's a couple factors. One, a noon start. I know SMU played at 11 last week, Central Time. Who knows with air traffic control today? They might get into Boston at 1 a.m.
Although I've heard the flights, actually, a lot of them are coming in early, believe it or not. I don't know about us at Logan. I know down here at RSW, there was one flight delayed going to Boston today, but only 7 minutes. and there was only one other flight delayed. This was early this
Well, I
morning.
hope it. You know,
Only to Chicago, but all the rest of the flights were coming in early.
interesting.
Some an hour early.
Well, they get it rather early than late.
Yeah.
But I know someone who left the airport yesterday just left because he knew his flight to DC from Boston was going to get canceled. Every hour it kept saying delayed, delayed. He just took off and said, "Forget it, I'm out
Might
of
as well
here."
drive. Just drive down.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
uh, it's the red bandana game too, so
Okay.
that's a huge a
Yeah,
huge lift for
explain the red
VC.
bandana game to everybody. I ask you to do this every year, but you can do it as succinctly as anybody. It's really, really special game.
It's an amazing accomplishment what BC started. This is now the 11th red bandana game,
Wow.
all in memory of Wells Crowther, a former BC lacrosse player, graduated BC 1998, and ended up taking a job at the South Tower. He was there for a couple of years in a brokerage firm, worked on the 104th floor, was there, unfortunately, when the plane struck on 9/11, and he went into unbelievable heroic mode, uh, rescuing at least a dozen people, probably more, bringing them down from literally carrying them down over 50, 60 flights, wearing a holding a red bandana because his father gave him that as a young child to blow his nose, and he always kept it for good luck.
Mhm.
And he was a volunteer fireman too, so he had some training in this, but he ended up dying and on 9/11, and the family still is extremely active in the BC community. They have a Wells Crowther Memorial Marathon every year, half marathon. What they've done for charity has been amazing. He's always been remembered. The Man in the Red Bandana video is fantastic that ESPN or documentary ESPN produced. I encourage everybody to watch it. Narrated by Ed Burns.
Mhm.
So it just tells you what it's the BC motto: "Men and women for others, service for others." That was Wells Crowther. He personified that, and we always honor his memory on this day.
It's great stuff. Great stuff. Hopefully there'll be a big crowd. I hope there
There
is.
will be.
And then
It's sold out.
good. And then of
Yep.
course this is this is your trap game because you got Georgia Tech next week.
Oh, well, Georgia Tech didn't look great last week.
No,
Uh,
I thought we talked about this. I said I thought it was a great shot. NC State is a different animal at night. They are a
yes.
different animal. I don't know what it is, but they are tough against anybody at night.
Well, it's also the Dave Doran game of the year. He always wins one that he's not
Mhm.
supposed to lose, and he loses a couple that he's
Yeah.
not supposed to lose, or
Mhm.
or he's not supposed to win. I should say he wins one, but yeah, no, I think the first things first. I think they are confident they can. They're definitely going to make this a close game. I think that's if you're BC right now and any team that's struggling, I think you're looking for the little wins. Bill O'Brien said it all year, and he doesn't like to say it. He hates to say it, but he knows that this team's battled. One thing they do, Pete, they battle.
Mhm.
They personify toughness, and that's another thing that Wells Crowther. That's who he was. So they know they want to honor his memory the right way, and that's to play a hard 60 minutes. And I think you'll get that from BC.
So you did your podcast with Billy O'Brien, right? The other night.
We did the show last night at the Stockyard. Yep.
Yeah. So how's his mood over besides what happened earlier in the week? But I mean, look now heading into this game, what's his mindset at?
It's good. Again, he's thrilled that these guys are, like at least steady the boat a little bit. He knows that it's been, it's hard mentally on everybody, but I think his staff, they've done a good job keeping everybody engaged week by week, every game. It's not, they're not talking Georgia Tech. They're not talking anything in the future. They're not
Yeah.
talking 2026. They just want to win this game. So it's just stay in the moment, the little wins. I had a couple players on last night. Lewis Bond, who's going to become the all-time BC receiver,
Mhm.
surpassing Zay Flowers here in the next couple weeks. He'll be a pro. Owen McGowan, a linebacker. Both those guys personify what it means to be a BC player. They say, look, consider yourself, if you're playing as an 18-year-old, they have a lot of 18-year-olds playing. You know how much better they're going to be next year for that?
Mhm.
Fans don't want to hear that. I get it. But that's reality. They're playing multiple. They're playing 12, 13, 14 freshmen a week. These guys are going to be so much better next year, and there's going to be much different team next year, no question about that. There's the investment will be there. BC will invest in the program much better than they have in the past.
Mhm.
They're going to play with the big boys. They know they have to play in the sandbox. So I think everything's going to be much better here as we sit here next year at this time. You'll be talking about a much different scenario.
All right, here's the just real quick the cut because then there's a part of this I want to bring up to you as well.
Fans, obviously losing to Notre Dame Catholic school rival, 1-8 now in the season in BC. I've heard from a lot of fans. They're just really
I'm really glad. I'm glad you're down. I'm not down. Nobody's down. We're fighting. We're competing. It's the second year of this program, Mike. You always come in here with these down questions. Like you show up like once a month or something like that. You come in here with these down questions. I'm not down. I don't know what year you graduated from BC, but this is a program that we're building. Nobody here's down. We're positive. We're going to show up and play our asses off against SMU. You can go out there in your dark, clouded world or whatever it is and do what you want to do. We're not down. The sun is up and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
All right, now, and we've all heard it now a million times. It went viral nationally and everything else. And this kid, Mike Gualtieri, is that his name?
Gualtieri,
yeah. I hate to say that about another Italian, but anyway. I heard T-shirts are being made. What's up, Trevor? Am I wrong? I saw T-shirts being made.
That's our guy from Eagles Daily.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Brett does a good job of that. Yeah, no, good marketing on his part. Bill laughed about that last night. Trevor Haas, a nice kid. He does a good job covering the Eagles for the Globe. Like you walk in that press conference. Sometimes it's like the Star Wars bar. Like you never know what you got to get in there. It's the long days from the days of Mike Petraglia and Carl Bean, Lake Carl Bean, and you used to join them.
Yeah. I just had Trags on Wednesday, and
I know Trags is on with you all the time. He texted me the other day. Love Trags.
He's flying into Naples tonight, and apparently we're going to miss. I'm trying to get a hold of him, trying to meet up. I don't know if he's going to hang out with Luis Cornetta and company, and he said he's playing golf tomorrow. He's flying back out Sunday, but.
Are you going to the Pats Tampa game?
I'm not going to the Pats Tampa game. No, I've had several offers. I don't enjoy. I'm done. I'm done with going to game. I told you this. I'd rather sit home with friends than go to the game. I don't have to do it anymore.
Angel, what's happened to Pete? Bring back our Pete.
No, why? Why am I going to drive 2 hours? I'm not doing it. I've had my share of being. I have just as much fun on my 75-inch TV or at my friend's house with their 75 or 80-inch TVs, and we party every Sunday with the visiting team, food team, and it's way better. It's just I don't need to do. I don't need to do it. I don't want to do it, college or pro. I really don't have any desire. I went to the Miami Notre Dame game. I'm still coughing from the rain. It was a great.
It's not going to rain in Tampa, is it?
No, I don't think so. It's going to be beautiful. But no, I've done my time with games. I get asked all the time to go at particular time for this game or that game. It's just I don't
There's
feel
still
like
something special though about being there, Pete.
I'm not saying there isn't. I agree with you.
He don't want to come see me because he says he don't like the double language, so he don't want to come see me. It's okay though. My door's not locked, but it's okay. It's all right.
Shut up. Hey, he was at the USF game last night. Did you see that? How about the first play? How about the first? They look good.
Not, but your Bulls are on a roll, Angel.
They sure are. They are kicking ass and taking names for damn sure. 7-2.
He gets mad at me when I tell him Alex Golesh is going to be coaching Auburn or somewhere else next year. When everybody comes after him,
Oh,
Yes,
there's
so
no question.
he won't have a show on Monday. He's on load management on Monday, so he won't have a show on Monday.
All right, Meter. So noontime. You like noontime starts? You're going to be at the stadium at 9, which means you have to leave at what, 7?
Who doesn't like a nooner, Pete? It's yeah. They're as Bill O'Brien says, we're a morning program. I hope that applies. But yeah, no, look, I'll leave my place about 7:45, get there around 8:30, and I'm good to go. So great. By the way, you would have loved. I know you're not a big going to games guy now, but
Yeah.
you would have loved last week. That was the best tailgate scene I've seen at BC in over a
Really?
decade. Oh my goodness, incredible! Great weather.
Yeah.
Notre Dame fans, BC fans, all playing together. bands, food was outstanding. People
Good.
were jacked up. It was just an energy around Chestnut Hill. People were there early. Stadium was packed. You couldn't get a seat anywhere.
How many fraud
That
Notre Dame fans were there?
felt like big time. The big time.
That's
Well,
good.
yeah,
I was
exactly.
watching it, so they played well. I mean,
They
they
did. They
played, I
played
think,
very
as
well.
tough as you can play, that team. They
Yeah, it
were
was that
3-point favorites, and in
they
the fourth
bottled
quarter.
up the run until the
Yeah.
love home run hit,
Yep.
and that it's unfortunate. The problem is they had a 21-yard drive, which was really impressive, but that's not what they're looking for either because they need more chunk plays. That was an 11.5, which is great. I asked O'Brien this last night. He said, "Yeah, we love what we did on the drive, but we also don't love it because we're not an 11.5 minute drive team. We need to score quickly. We love chunk plays. They don't have enough of those explosives.
Mhm.
Every team that BC's played this year has overwhelmed them with explosives. That's what BC has to improve upon next year."
Media, you're the best. Tomorrow, you and Pete Cronin and Matt Merton.
Scott Mutryn.
Scott Mutryn, sorry, my bad. Scott
I
Mutryn.
think Matt Merton was a former Red
Matt
Sox
Merton, yes.
outfielder.
Scott Mutryn and Steve Chacho producing. So we look forward to what time's your pregame? 11, 11:30?
We are on at 11:30. Pete, before I go, you and the entire audience, Angel Martinez, all invited next week. Get on the Sheppard jet. Come to the Stockyard next Thursday night. We're celebrating 20 years in the booth. A little
Wow.
20th anniversary celebration.
Wow.
It will be a packed house. Just thank you. We that's an encouraging mob you
Who
have.
did you take over for doing play-by-play? Not
Your
Ted.
friend John Rook,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, John Rook went to do the
now the
Patriots.
PA voice of the Patriots.
Yes, yes. And the play-by-play voice for the Providence College Friars.
Yes, yes, and so we're gonna have a blowout next Thursday, Pete.
Well, I'll Zoom it, FaceTime you, and we can totally.
Jamie Parker will be there. Your
Oh,
good
great!
friend.
I love Jamie. Yep.
Congratulations, Peter. And I'll bring all my friends from Home Depot. We'll all be there. Big party. Big party.
Please do. Please do.
All right, my
You
man.
could always use a couple extra tool belts.
Sure.
Thank you.
John will have his one Mick Ultra and
No.
high and high.
You know what I do, Pete. I do the
You
vodka
do that,
and the pineapple and
you
the
got
cranberry.
umbrella drinks. You do the umbrella drinks.
Yep, I had a great one the other day. A little kind of a version of a pina colada. A nice little. I imagine you and I sitting at the tiki bar, like we did that day in Naples, Florida.
Yes, you did. Oh my God.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, man. We'll talk next week. All the best to you and the Eagles this week, and we'll talk soon.
All right, boys. Great talking as always. Have a good weekend.
There we go. John Meterprell, voice football play-by-play voice for the Boston College Eagles and also the ACC network as well, joining us here. Gabe Morency will be joining us momentarily, and for the first time in 3 weeks, he will be joining us as well. In the meantime, Angel, before that happens, what do you got going on this weekend? Are you going to Tampa? You going to the Patriots Tampa Bay game?
Sure. Yeah. The Bucks have invited me to attend their game with roses and all kinds of flowers and everything else. Said no one. But no, unless I end up getting a super cheap ticket because I refuse to pay $300 plus for a game, which makes absolutely no sense. No, yeah, if I get a cheaper one, sure, on up there. If not, no big deal. Before the cold front comes in, because Sunday 82 and toasty, Monday 39 and forget about it.
Yeah, they're saying 41 degrees in the morning when we wake up here, but then it goes up to mid 70s, high 60s, low 70s, which is absolutely fantastic. Love it.
No, it's going to be a busy weekend anyways. You figure we got women's basketball tonight for USF, game 2 at home at the Ingling Center. Tickets still available. You guys can always find it. And always check out their posts as well all here on social media. And then you have tomorrow night, the boys, the hockey boys, are back on the ice at Wesley Chapel. So that should be another fun match there on the ice.
That's awesome. Does Sheila have a show coming up today at 10?
No, senor. She is off today. And she'll be back come next week. And then, of course, K4 wins at 11 a.m., 10 Central. So those guys will be on at 11 o'clock this morning.
Fantastic. All right, let me play a couple NFL cuts here before Gabe comes on. Here's Sauce Gardner on joining the Colts. This is from the Indianapolis Colts webpage.
You know, it's truly a blessing to be here. And my favorite color, blue, so, well,
that
it just worked out perfectly. There's great fans here, and I've been knew that when I seen how many traveled when we played the Colts. I believe it was last year when we played at home. So I already knew the type of fan base that I was coming into. So, and just doing my job, doing my thing out there, being myself, So, I'm looking forward to this year, man, and my future as a coach for sure.
Yeah, love a blessing. Yeah, anything getting out of the Jets is a blessing, Going to hell would be a blessing. Sauce Gardner shouts out the Jets in his time in New York.
I enjoyed my time in New York.
No, you didn't.
Just want to give a shout out to, the guys that were there that drafted me, and the guys that was there, obviously, when I got my extension and everything like that, and my teammates who I went through so much with, So, yeah.
All right. Baltimore, Minnesota. This should be a great one. Minnesota favored by 4.5. I do like the Ravens to cover in this game and maybe even win. But Justin Jefferson, though, talked about it, seeing J.J. McCarthy come back from his injury.
Justin, you know what it's like to come back from injury and perform. So you've seen JJ do it twice this year. And the fact he refers to himself as 9, he puts on a different persona. Like, what have you seen for him in those kind of roller coaster times that has really helped him become who he is that we saw in Detroit?
Yeah. The persona, I like it personally. I feel like he understands that, he has to turn on another switch when he gets in a game, and mentally, physically, you kind of got to talk yourself into it. You have to, just like me with Jets, it's the same thing. I'm Justin right now, but when I step on the field, and it's a whole different mode. So,
all right, there it is right there. Okay, joining us for the first time in a few weeks is the one and only Gabe Morency from Sports Grid. Awesome stuff, great handicapper, entertainer, just a hell of a sweet guy. A wonderful newlywed. Yeah, I mean, it's been a few weeks, but anyway, welcome, Gabe. And how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Pete. Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. I have not talked to you since your Dodgers won the World Series. Now, I know you were at Game 5, I think. I think you were there for Game 5, but I just wanted to get your thought. To me, and just from World Series standpoint, one of the greatest of all times, no question about it. But if for a Game 7, when you factor in inning 1 through inning 11, it's got to be the greatest Game 7 of all time in World Series history.
You know what? I tweeted and I posted during the game, actually. I said, I think this game is going on, moved on from being one of the best baseball games ever to being one of the best sporting events ever.
Yeah.
Right? And look, I got a lot of followers, and that post, for whatever reason, like I had a lot of people that don't follow me somehow that got into it. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I think Elon Musk's algorithm rocks. All right? Yeah. I think it sucks. Like everybody, Elon, it's so great. Elon's going to be so great when he owns it. I said, all right, let's see. Okay, it's so great if you own it, if you're aligned with him and his beliefs, right?
Yeah.
If you're not, then it's like, go F yourself.
Yeah, but
that's honestly.
But that tweet that you put out, how many soccer people come after you?
But that's what I was going to say, dude. I have a lot of like soccer fans too, different people. That was the thing. I had people in Spanish responding. I had people like from Europe responding. Like, you know what I mean? I had some dude like from Australia. I'm a footy guy, but this is awesome. Like people around the world were watching. Like, wow, this is like, and it was almost, it's crazy too. I was going to say, and I don't think anyone's brought this up, but we all wanted, not everybody wanted, but there was so much, so long. And even if you're a hater, it was like, yeah, you can't argue it. Right? It's like the Lakers and the Celtics in the finals.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you know what I mean? We finally got it. Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers, Yankees, World Series. Meh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah. It was sort of like, okay. Baseball nostalgia sort of got a little bit. Didn't save the game. Didn't do anything for baseball. Unless you were a Dodger fan, was like, yeah, whatever. Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam once and blah, blah. They beat him. Dare I say that this series, saved baseball? Or didn't save baseball, people, but brought baseball back. 50 million people, man. Like, well, you know what I mean? Like Japan, Canada, the U.S., 25 million people. 16 million people only for the Game 7. Like, it goes to show that the passion is there. just the little things too. You look at Canada as a whole, how the country was ignited behind the sport of baseball. I saw a video. It seems like a little thing, but Shane Bieber still lives in Cleveland, right? He got traded from Cleveland, midseason, whatever. So he went back to Cleveland after the loss. There's a great video out there, man. Like if you're into nostalgia and Americana and stuff, but it's a bunch of kids playing wiffle ball in a yard. And Bieber's going home and he stops. He gets out. He goes, man, I got to go see these kids. They all knew who he was right away. Oh my God, Bieber, World Series. And like the whole block was there. And you would figure, man, these 6-year-old kids don't know what a baseball player is. They know what Steph Curry is if you walked into the room. Oh my God, LeBron James is here. Shane Bieber. I know he's local, but the way the kids, and they're all hitting the ball, and I even said, I was like, man, you could just feel it. Like, I guarantee you there's kids right now, man, in Canada. They're like, I want to play baseball. I want to be on the Blue Jays. Same thing. I don't know how many kids say, oh, I want to be a Dodger. Besides the smart kids. But what it did for the sport of baseball, and, people talking about it, and it was just great for the game. And we have the WBC coming up next, too, Pete, to really grow the game coming out of this.
Yeah, and I was never a big fan of the WBC.
Oh,
I was in the minority. I'm kind of into it. And the only reason why is because I don't want my guys I don't want any of my Red Sox players, if there's any. Or anybody. I hate to see anybody get hurt in exhibition.
See, that's lame, though. But do you say the same thing about the Four Nations hockey?
No.
Olympic hockey?
Yes and no. I love the Four Nations hockey. Loved it.
I hate that. I hate that excuse of people. It's an American thing. It's only Americans that think that way.
But I've changed my mind. I've come around on.
I'm being dead serious, though.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's only Americans.
But
wait
a second.
Like Garrett Cole. Oh, I can't pitch at a WBC. All right, well, Shohei Ohtani can. He's better than you are. Right?
Yeah, but then you have these NBA stupid whatever this is in the beginning of the season. That's useless. What's going on in the NBA every Friday, right? There's whatever the little tournament.
Yeah, but that's not the same. That's their little.
But it's still I know because it still counts to the regular season. No, I've changed my mind on the WBC. I've come around because the last one brought me back. I was like, this is awesome. I mean, it really is. So you're absolutely right. I have the right to change my mind sometimes. I love the Four Nations hockey. So, but
I don't know why though. People think like for me, it's not bigger. Like if Sidney Crosby gets hurt playing for Team Canada, that's more important than him getting hurt playing for the effing Pittsburgh Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, international play is more important. Like I don't look at it as like an injury risk or like you know what I mean. Like I'm a Dodger fan. Could Ohtani get hurt at WBC? Yeah, sure. He could also get hurt in spring training. And, like, I know how important it is. It's funny. In the old days, if you didn't play for your country, you'd get seriously ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be unheard of. It's like even now in Canada, it's that way. I've never seen anyone once in my lifetime ever tell Team Canada no because I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, not in my lifetime. But nowadays, in the modern era, and I'm surprised from you because you're older, but the modern younger fan, I don't care about the Olympics. I don't care about this. I don't want my guy to get hurt. It's like, I give a fuck about a regular season NBA game. Like,
hockey's totally
who cares?
different.
Like, even hockey, who cares? Like,
I mean, hockey's like the only sport I watch in the Olympics anyway. So, that is, if the United States can't win, I want Canada to win. There's no question.
Imagine an Argentinian player saying, well, I don't want to get hurt because I can't play for you in the World Cup because, I play for Manchester United and that's more important to me. You get shot. But in America, people think about money and contracts and their own personal teams first.
No,
different mindset.
I've always been for playing for your country and amateur. And, part of me still wishes the Olympic kid, the hockey team was still the college kids, but I understand.
I don't have a problem with that either.
They had to get past that because it was getting 1980 aside, it was getting ridiculous. But I've always been playing for your country. Just the WBC at the time, because I never thought there was I love the idea of it, but I was like, when do you play it? Do you wait till after the season? I mean, but now I'm into it, Gabe. I've totally flipped from where I was as far as that goes, and as far as the other sports, I'm fine. And I love when all the World Cup people, I love when all the soccer people attack everybody else. When you talk about what is a great sporting event, no one's saying the World Cup isn't. But if it's not the World Cup people, then you get the NASCAR people. And maybe it's that way around the world, but I'm sorry. In the United States and Canada, it's the 4 majors and then everybody else. I love the World Cup every 4 years. I'm not sitting here, and nobody is doing a soccer show about Seattle and Portland.
That's not true once again either, because
The
in fact,
MLS, who's doing that? No one's talking about
the Vancouver Whitecaps, Pete, have sold 50,000 tickets for a game that's on November the 22nd.
I know that, but you're not sitting there going to do a 3-hour show on that subject. You're not going to sit there and do it.
Well, I've talked quite a bit about it, actually, to be honest with you. But
it's worth a mention, but you're not going to sit there. It's like doing a fucking show about the WNBA for 4 hours. Click, 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 click. I mean, no, you can't do it. It's worth a mention, but there's way more other things that people care about. I'm sorry. Then if MLS was that great, if it wasn't for Messi down here in Florida, no one would give a shit. No one would give a shit. When I was in Boston, Gabe, the Revolution went to the championship 3 or 4 times in a row. The only thing that did was delay my post-game show for the Patriots for an hour. And you can't sit there and talk about MLS soccer on a 4-hour show. Nobody does it. It's impossible. You can't do it.
No, but I wouldn't dismiss it in that. Oh, nobody cares about the MLS or
people care, but not. It's a niche sport. It's a
yes,
niche
and
sport.
yeah, no, I'm not. In America, once again, like I said, but on the same point in time, a lot of people really don't give a fuck about USF football or the Central Florida Knights, other than because they're betting on it, right?
Well, I'm not saying. Yeah, well, I'm not. I don't. I mean, today was a little different. I mean,
I'm not calling you guys out. I watched the game last night, but I'm just saying, I get this from people all the time. Like, I have hockey cappers on. So like, oh yeah, the NBA, WNBA. And I'm like, I don't want to bust your heart bubble, buttercup here, but the WNBA is more popular than the NHL is, okay? So they get higher ratings. It's like 400,000 people watching an ESPN hockey game. There's like 1.6 million people watching, even without Caitlin Clark. Like this, so there's different levels of people don't care and stuff like that. But, I get it as far as soccer. I mean, soccer it's coming on. It's coming on. But there's a lot of mainstream sports that people think like good examples like the UFC. People talk about the UFC a lot, right, Pete?
Yeah.
UFC doesn't even crack 1 million people on TV.
It's not my cup of tea, to be honest with you.
Right.
UFC, MMA,
I like it, but I'm just being real, like for ratings and stuff. Like everybody thinks so it's all perception, but World Cup of Soccer is coming up this summer. You're gonna have to get your cleats out, Pete.
I've become a huge soccer fan every 4 years. Trust me, between Italy and the United States, anyway. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some college and some NFL games with the great Gabe Morency. This is great. I haven't done it yet. I told you to do my picks before yours. So I'm laying the 14.5 with USC tonight. Is that a game you would even touch? Does Northwestern scare you? They come up with games once in a while. They cover games and they win games they shouldn't win. How are you feeling about this game tonight? It's something that you touch.
No, I didn't bet these games tonight yet, which, I probably end up going to. I actually like Houston, for the record. When I look at tonight's card, I like the Houston Cougars tonight. USC are a different team at home, right, than they are on the road, but it's still a little bit pricey for me, that point spread.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I actually do like the card this weekend. And I'm kind of normally, I got to be honest, like NFL has been very sort of last minute for me this year.
Yeah, you said
it's like, all right, I don't really love the card this week and I'll find something, but I love the college card. This week, there's sort of a bunch of games that just sort of start to jump off the screen at me. And they weren't tonight. Like I said, I like Houston tonight. I looked at the board. I'm like, yeah, I like the Cougars here, but I like coming into the weekend, looking at tomorrow. I think we're going to start to get some real upsets now. Like they're called, like all this poll rankings and none of this crap matters. So you're talking about like what matters or not. Those original polls don't matter because everyone's going to play each other. But these teams are going to start to lose now. And I'll start off with the Missouri Tigers and Texas A&M.
Great call.
Yeah, this is the spot here. Missouri have been knocking on the door, guys. Right? Missouri played Missouri had a soft schedule. They played their first hard game of the year was against Alabama. They were 6-0, and it was a little bit of a culture shock for them. It was going fast, and they settled down. They ended up losing like 27-24, whatever it was. They lost by 3 points. All right, after that, they had to go to Vanderbilt. Anybody that watched that Vanderbilt game knows Missouri dominated them. Like, they stopped them a million times and ran the ball down their throat a million times. It was very like Denver Bronco like last night.
Sure,
Or the Raiders. It was like Missouri missed a 27-yard field goal. Missouri went for it on 4th and goal from the 2 and didn't get it. Like, they couldn't effing score, Pete, from inside the 5 like 10 times. Like, it was one of those, you got to be kidding me, guys. You're going to lose because you're not scoring all the time here. It finally caught up to them, right? So I think they're a little battle tested now, but playing good teams. Everybody's like, oh, Bo Perbula's out. I'm not worried about it, man. Bo Perbula can't throw the ball anyways. So the Zollers kid can't. The Zollers kid's like the 7th highest recruit in the country. He looked good when he came in the game, Pete, against Vanderbilt.
Yes, he did.
And you saw him. He was throwing the ball around. Now he's got time. They had to buy. They got time to get ready for this game. And I like A&M. I like this program. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. I think they're good. But they can't stop the run. Right? It's one of the little secret things. They're like ranked 90th in the country in run expectancy rate. Missouri run the effing ball as much as a military academy does. All Missouri does is run the ball. As long as Mizzou don't fall behind early, and I don't think they will. I like Missouri. I love the 7, but I think Missouri are going to win the game outright. And this one takes balls to say, but the Oregon Ducks are on upset alert here.
I'm so all over. I'm so glad you said that. Another round of applause for Gabe, because I've been all over this week. I think Oregon is fucking overrated. And
I think going to beat them outright. Same thing, money line upset.
I agree. Give me the 6.5-point head start. Kirk Ferentz doesn't lose games like this. He's like 23-2 in games, especially in Iowa. I totally agree with you 100%. And the other one is, I think is interesting. You know, Texas Tech, BYU with a 10.5-point lead. That looks attractive to me. Part of me says that, and another part of me says I can't wait for Gabe to comment on this game. On my picks, I took the 10.5 BYU start. But is this one of those games where just being at home in Lubbock and is on paper it looks great. Like your eyes go, what? This is a 7th versus an 8th team and a 10.5-point head start, but. So I jumped on BYU. I don't know if I'll necessarily do it. Maybe I put them in a tease and put them up 16.5 with some other team. But how do you feel about that game as far as underdogs go with a chance to win outright?
Well, you know what's wild about this game is that nobody believes in BYU, right? People, listen, it took BYU forever to crack the top 10, even though they were winning every week. They escape, they dodge bullets every week, and they find a way to win, but they get criticized for it. And now everybody thinks this is it where they're going to get lit up. Texas Tech are a different team at home. Texas Tech are also a very different team when they have their starting quarterback. The record, the real deal. They're one of those teams, they spent $28 million on their players this year. And it's actually working out for them. Let's give them credit for it. A lot of times you throw these kids together, mercenaries, and it doesn't work, but Tech's got something special going on. I'm with you in the sense that people keep underestimating BYU on a weekly basis. It's like, really? You just think they're going to get blown out suddenly when they never do?
Yep.
But I walked into the same trap last week with Cincinnati and Utah.
Utah just buried them.
Yeah, and it was like, why are they getting 10.5 for a good team? And it's like, people said, you'll find out why. You'll see.
Yeah, I said the same thing. That's the first game when I was looking at the BYU Texas Tech game. I said, this is what I thought last week when I picked Cincinnati.
45-14 final score.
Just like 14-7 after the first quarter, and then they just absolutely got.
I kind of think that it's kind of a trap, Pete.
Yeah.
I saw it too. It's almost like bait car, right? A lot of sports betting, a lot of times, like that old show, bait car. Yeah, they leave the door open and they put the car in a poor neighborhood and they bait some poor dude into trying to steal the car.
Is it every couple of years? It used to be almost every year where Ohio State would lose to a team they had no business losing to.
Yeah.
For a lot of now, I'm not saying I know Purdue played Michigan tough lad. Michigan's so bad. Your Wolverines are really banged up. So it's kind of Michigan won the game, but it was Purdue hung around. This week at home is their Super Bowl. They're almost 30-point underdogs at home. Any chance in hell that this game, even if it's like a 20-point game, any chance in hell does it happen, or do you think Ohio State's going to go in there and win 50-3?
No, they're that good. This is one of the best defenses we've seen in college football history. I hate to say it. They can name their score, and they don't seem to let up, really. So I don't know, like I don't know if they have a hate on for Purdue. You know what I mean? Like in the same way, or Ryan Day, he knows what the point spread is, and he kind of tries to get there for the most part. I'll tell you what, though, as far as Ohio State is concerned, I don't care like what they're going to say publicly, and they can have their little this and that. You know that they're worried as fuck about going to Ann Arbor again, right? They can win the national championship. They can do this. They've lost to the Michigan Wolverines 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan are getting better every week right now. This is just sort of a Michigan, like it doesn't really matter. And nothing matters. They just got to win out, right? Michigan are 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
They got what? They got the game this week.
Well, they're off this week.
And you got 2 more games, though.
Yeah.
It's like cupcakes, not cupcake for them, but what is it? It's Maryland up next.
Yeah.
So you get Maryland up next. You're 2 weeks away. You're 2 wins away. Northwestern.
At Maryland, and then obviously Ohio State.
At Northwestern. That game's actually at Wrigley Field.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, November the 15th at Northwestern, and they go to Maryland, so both on the road. Then they're back home in Michigan. So, to me, so that's a dangerous game. And the thing is, though, Ohio State would get into the playoff anyways, even if they lost. And Michigan would get in because they just won, and they're 10-2, and they just beat Ohio State. So keep your eye on that in a couple of weeks. It's unfortunate that Michigan just lost Justice Haynes.
Yeah.
But now Jordan Marshall has stepped up. There's a recipe to beat Ohio State. You just run the ball right down their throat. Nobody seems to be able to do it besides Michigan. But I can't wait for that football game. Ohio State will be on upset alert.
I agree. All right, let's shift quickly to the NFL here. Starting in Germany, I love the Colts this week, -6.5 against the Falcons. I like to start off my day where I have had some good shekels in my pocket before the 1 o'clock games begin. How do you feeling good about that?
I hate these early morning games. Not that all they're in Europe or whatever. It's just on the West Coast, whatever. It's 6:30 and it's 6:30 in the morning, and I don't I like getting the day started with an early bet. I think this is a trap, actually. Now, listen, the Atlanta Falcons, their main sponsor should be a pharmaceutical company because they're head cases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Falcons are literally schizophrenic. They might beat you 30-24. They might lose 30-0.
Mm-hmm.
From a week, I've never almost seen such an inconsistent, all over the place football team. They really are. Look, they lose 30-0 to the Panthers. They beat the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go on the road. They beat Washington. They go back home. They get drilled by Miami.
Well, and that was the thing. They played without Bijan Robinson. Yeah, I know they didn't have Penix Jr. I know they didn't have London. But for Bijan Robinson to only touch the ball 9 times in that game, Raheem Morris, what kind of game plan is that? It's just stupid.
Yeah, well, Kirk. Yeah, exactly. God, Kirk Cousins, another story.
But
I think it's kind of a weird trap game for Indy, to be honest with you. I think Indy are overpriced right now. And I think now with this trade and stuff that people are like, oh, my God, the Colts this, the Colts that. And I like Daniel Jones, so I'm not picking on him. But the clock is about to strike midnight, all right? The Cinderella ball is nearly over. It wasn't like you saw the picks last week and the turnovers. They're going to continue. Right? They're going to continue. Their Colts are not going to the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think it's very hard. The NFC, I had the Rams. The AFC, I think is very wide open. It's a great point by you. A great character game for Indy to see how they respond. Because teams like that, when things are going great, they're great. Let's see how you respond when things aren't going so great.
I wish it was almost against anyone else besides such a flaky Falcon team, but the Falcons' defense is good.
Yep.
Right? They have number 1 pass defense in the NFL, which actually would surprise people, but their defense has gotten better. I think they can create a turnover or two, and I think they can hang around. But I was talking about upset specials, so we talked about the Missouri Tigers, who I think can win the game outright. The Iowa Hawkeyes, I think, can win the game outright. Leads me into the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
Vikings are getting 4 points. I think they're going to win the game outright. I think this is just going to continue for them. McCarthy will string together a couple of wins in a row here, even though the stats might not be pretty and stuff. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is back, but the Ravens still have serious ass problems. It was just a Lamar Jackson issue with Baltimore. And I think Minnesota will be able to exploit it. So Minnesota's plus 180 on the money line. I got one more. And I will note, too, man, I tell you, the Patriots, I didn't think were going to be this good. I thought they'd be improved, but they were like.
I told you to give them one. They're the real, but they even out this week because both teams are banged up with two.
Well, I like Tampa this week, but
I do too.
Patriots' schedule's been soft. They haven't really beaten anyone. Let's see as the season goes on, right? We're not even in December yet, so we're not giving any bouquets yet. Nice start for the Patriots, though. I think they're the real deal, but let's see the full body of work play out here. But I do like the Bucs, but the upset special that I like here as well is the Rams should not be laying 4.5 points against the 49ers.
I'm with you. I picked the Giants. I picked the 49ers also.
Here's another one that they could win outright. For the record, my 4 money line underdog picks of Missouri to win, Iowa to win, Minnesota Vikings to win, San Francisco 49ers to win. In case you want to play a parlay, I put the odds together just in case to see what it was. It's 75-1.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's only 4 games.
It's only 4 games, but
imagine you win the first 3. You can put yourself, we'll take the Rams, whatever. You put yourself in a spot. It's actually 76 to be exact. 76-1, guys. Hawkeyes win, Missouri Tigers win, Vikings win, 49ers win, and 76-1. That's 4 home teams, too.
That's awesome. 75-1. You should. Now, before we let you go, see, I have such little respect for Mike McDaniel, aka Charlie Brown. People are going to think the Bills, and there'll be way more Bills fans. There'll be all Bills fans at Hard Rock on Sunday. So it's going to be like a home game for the Bills. I don't give a shit about anybody talking about this is a trap game. The Bills win by 14 plus. There is no way they're not going to take the foot off the gas pedal and beat this horse shit of an organization, the Miami Dolphins. I am sorry. Their coach is an embarrassment to any coach at any level at any time in my lifetime.
I'll tell you what, though, Pete.
He is a joke.
I'm not going to promise you he gets fired. As crazy as it sounds.
No, I know he's not going to get fired. Yeah. Stephen Ross down here, I've never seen anything like it.
Ross legitimately likes him.
He is a great man, except he does so many great things for this area, for the Florida. Everything he does touches gold, except running his football team. The sentimental bullshit thing that he has in his head, from keeping Greer around all those many years, I haven't won a playoff game in 25 years, and to say he's going to bring in a new GM and the new GM isn't going to be able to pick the coach, and they're going to keep this bull on. I mean, Tua's making $65 million in 3 years. $65 million.
Be gone. They're going to have to eat that.
He'll be gone, but.
Stephen Ross cares more about Michigan football than he does the Dolphins. For whatever reason, he doesn't seem to care. Like, he could have gotten Harbaugh years ago, and he said, basically, I don't want to hurt Michigan. And, he's a Michigan dude. He's a big booster.
He could have had Tomlin. He could have had Drew Brees. He could have had a lot of things.
But
over the years.
Or there's the other school of thought that, all right, we keep McDaniel, and he's so bad, we'll lose every week, and we're actually tanking with him, right? Or they actually do. Or they actually do just like them.
But have you ever seen a coach with less conviction in your life than Mike McDaniel? I mean, everybody, I've been saying it for 2 years, and now only lately national people are saying, players saying, I would never run through a wall for that. The guy inspires a jelly donut. Nothing. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't play for him. I don't think he does a very good job at these press conferences. So I'm not in the room, It's his appearance. Like I said, it's his appearance, it's his press conferences. He makes it worse for himself.
Yep.
He He makes it. I'm not saying he's got to show up in a suit and stuff like that, but answer a question directly. Don't meander off. Don't stare down. I totally get it. I mean, he doesn't have any of the qualities to be a football coach.
Yep.
Right? I'll admit that, but people seem to like him. Football people like him. I saw Bruce Arians running through a wall for him the other day, swearing to God on the Pat McAfee show how smart McDaniels is.
Yeah, as an offensive mind, yes, that's fine. But as a head coach, he's an embarrassment to the game. As an offensive mind, you want to be a special assistant or an offensive coordinator. I got no problem with that. As a head coach,
well, he won't be the first, right? I don't know. It's not like it's almost like Adam Gase in a way, right? In the sense, Adam Gase actually had a really good playbook and smart plays. But Adam Gase, like I was in New York when Adam Gase was there, and I asked one of the it was actually Williams got traded. I asked the Jet players, like it was off the air too. It was like we were in a bar type thing doing a show, and they're really open. And I said, "What's Gase?" I said, "Man, everyone rips Adam Gase." I said, "What's Gase like, anyways?" I said, "Is he this big idiot like everyone says he is?" And they all said, "No, man, the guy's super smart." They said, you know, Williams said, he goes, "I never really talked to him before ever in my life." He goes, "I met him once, kind of," and then he said, "Adam Gase doesn't talk to the players." Right? So is he a bad guy? No, you know what I mean? But he basically said Adam Gase sits in his office. He told me, he goes, "Man, that guy sits in his office like 16 hours a day eating pizza, looking at tape. Like he's like a mad scientist." And he said he doesn't really talk to anybody. The assistant coaches do. Right? So Gase, you know, some of these coordinators, they're geeks and they get detached from the team and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, last thing before I let you go. What part of Canada is 19-year-old Oliveira Ryu from, the 7'9", tallest college basketball player ever? What part?
Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Okay, that was something. I know he's going to redshirt this year.
I've known him since he's like 10 years old.
You have? Oh, that's awesome.
Not personally, like I'm not buddies with him, but I have his basketball like camp coach. Like the people that mentored him when he was a kid, I know and have had on. So like I've been talking about this kid for 10 years. Like he was basically, you know, like 7 feet tall when he was 11 type thing or 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he's been a freak of nature in Montreal for years. So we've all known about him. So yeah, great for him that he finally got in there. Great for him.
And he's in a great program in Florida.
He's a good kid too.
Oh, he seems it.
You know what? Like a lot of people that big don't like themselves or feel awkward. Like he's 7'9", man. Like so you're kind of a freak. You know what I mean? Like he embraces it. Like he takes pictures with people. He's in like he's got Canadian sponsorship TV NIL deals and stuff just because he's so big.
Yep.
He's in like a Canadian Tire hardware commercial in the store. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish he played hockey. Imagine him on skates. I wonder if
hopefully he can develop him. You know what? He actually, you know who did play hockey? It's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Which would be scary as hell. It was Zach Eady.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, look at Zach. He's got that mean face too, eh?
Yeah.
Zach Eady actually said, "Yeah, no, I didn't want to be an NBA player. I wanted to be an NHL player, but I got too big." Like he was just too lumbering. You know what I mean? Like in the corners and stuff. And they said, "Dude, like you got to play basketball." You know?
You know, we had, you know, when we had Shara and everything else, and Z would just would go like this and take up half the rink. I mean,
you stick your stick out, exactly.
It's crazy.
You know who's a big dude that could skate, actually? People don't really realize it. He's a pretty good hockey player, J.J. Watt.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
J.J. Watt's a big hockey player.
Let's like get hit by him, a hip check from
hockey
him.
Player fan, but like he's like he can skate. Like I was like, oh, J.J. Watt, you know, like I like hockey, and I saw him. Dude was flying around, bro.
Yep.
Played at Wisconsin. You know, it's just an all-around athlete, you know.
Unbelievable. Hey, Gabe, thanks so much. So you on Sports Grid, you're still doing the 7 days a week, right? You're on all the time at night.
Yeah, 7 days a week. We'll be on at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight.
Awesome.
Noon Saturdays. I'm on from noon till 3 Saturday afternoons. That's a fun one.
Oh,
We're watching the early games. I'm giving bets and stuff, so check out that one.
And you're live betting with all of that stuff. I love it. So, all right, there he goes. Gabe Morency.
Including on MLS soccer, Pete.
Whatever you say, I'll just bet it. I have no idea.
It's a world outside of Messi.
That's fine. Even them. I mean, yeah.
Thomas Mueller, baby. He's on the Vancouver Whitecaps. Learn his name. He's kind of a big player. And all kidding aside, Pete, I know my boy Angel will probably know this. Like LAFC have like the biggest Koreans. Are like there's certain markets right now where like put it this way, the good MLS markets are booming right now, Pete.
Oh, I
mean, LA is rocking. They got the Sung Kim kid from Korea. Like it's boy band big. Thomas Mueller, one of the greatest players ever, has changed the Whitecap organization. So some good stuff coming up.
Angel only cares about the Puerto Rican players.
Not hardly, but no, it's getting huge. It is getting huge in America, and especially obviously in Canada as well. But the men's national team is coming to Tampa and then to Orlando coming up here November 18th and 28th, if I remember correctly. So hopefully we'll be covering that as well. But yeah, soccer's huge.
Time for the American fans to start showing up, right? It's been very lackluster lately, the American national.
Well, look at the team they put together.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Pulisic there feels to be apathy from people. People are just generally mad at the U.S. Like, I get I'm just saying, I know the World Cup people are going to show up, but there's no like that, oh, let's go support the team before the World Cup. It's more like, these guys fucking suck before the World Cup. Like, you know what I mean? There's an anger.
Hopefully they'll get there. All right, Gabe, you're the best. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
We'll talk
guys.
next week.
Thanks,
Thank
Gabe.
you. There he is, Gabe Morency, one of the best handicappers and entertainers. Outstanding. Make sure you check him out on Sports Grid. He'll be on tonight and tomorrow from noon to 3. He's on 7 days a week. All right, Angel, that about is going to do it. My voice is gone. And what do you got going on for the weekend? USF women?
Yep, with USF women's basketball this evening at the Yingling Center. Tickets still available. You guys can pick them up. Go USFBulls.com. Also, hockey tomorrow night. Hockey team playing over there in Wesley Chapel. So that's going on. It's a free event. You guys can show up at the rink and enjoy action time. I'm trying to think. Sunday. And I'm doing something else on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I remember back then. But either way, it's going to be a free busy weekend. I'm just not looking forward to Monday just because of the cold.
Okay. All right. Thanks to Gabe Morency. Thanks to John Meter Perel. Thanks to Hector Longo. Thanks to Jay Flannelly. Thanks to Trevor Harris. Thanks to Angel Martinez. Thanks to all of you guys. I am Pete. We're back Monday to recap it all. 7 in the a.m. Go Canes. Go Patriots. And best of luck to whatever team you around the country and around the world are rooting for. We're back here at 7 a.m. on the Coastal Sports Digital Network Monday. See ya.